I'm Argus. Just Argus now. I'm a mercenary from the Crest Mountains, looking to get as far away from them as my body can carry me. Though this eternal winter is making that annoyingly difficult. Almost as difficult as family, but that's not important and not anything I want to talk about right now. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just looking for stories to tell along the way, and I'll destroy anyone or anything who thinks they can get in my way and stop that from happening. And if anyone asks, this conversation never happened. I was never here. Got it?
Dear Mom and Dad, it is I, your favorite daughter, Mochi, with my weekly letter and my life and travels. I do hope you're receiving these things. I haven't heard back from you in a while. Anyway, after being asked, somewhat forcefully, to leave the avium, I've been asking myself, Mochi, what is next? Turns out I got my answer. It came from above, you could say. So I'm still practicing my magic. It's just a little different. Don't worry, I am still determined to pass the next entrance exam. But until then, I'm staying somewhere quiet and trying to use my magic to be helpful wherever I can. I promise I'm working really hard, even if things haven't gone totally to plan. But I'm sure I'll make Mom proud of me one day soon. I hope things are going well with you, and I hope to hear back from you soon. Love you and miss you, your most determined daughter, Mochi.
Alright, well met. Name's Voldemort the Druid. Volley to my friends. Yous can call me Voldemort though. Now, I may be done with my adventuring, but someone's got to keep the bright-eyed and bushy-tailed out of trouble. Just as long as I'm back in my stump in good time. What, you want more? Well, not much to tell really. Tried a whole heroics business a while back, and let's just say it didn't really work out so great for yours truly. Nowadays I prefer to work on my mushroom magic in peace and quiet, thank you. But I have a debt to pay, so I'm in.
Hello? Are you going this way too? Oh, gosh, I'm glad I caught up to you. You walk really fast. But did you know that everything has magic in it? Is it magic how you walk that fast? Is that what it is? Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Clarence, and I am an inspiring hero. Well, you see, magic school didn't quite work out for me. They have very specific ideas on magic, and I don't really quite agree with them. You see, I think the whole world is magical. Everything in it is magical, and even if you're not a magic user, I think that there's a little bit of magic inside each of us. And I know one day I'm gonna find that magic, and with my friends, we're gonna save the world. So, do you wanna sign up to be in my adventuring party?
Oh, hello. Come on in. The bakery is warm. My name is Marley. Oh dear, you look frozen to the bone. The cold has a way of doing that. Cutting right into your bones, I mean. Take a seat by the fire, and I'll see if I can find something to warm you up. We don't have much in the way of baked goods on hand these days, not with the way supplies are rationed, but, well, I've lived long enough and I know how to make ends meet. Here, take this acorn loaf that's still warm from the oven. I know it's not much, but in times like these, if there's one thing I've learned, it's that folks have to look out for one another. You can always count on old Marley to have your back. Oh, no, you keep your coin. You just get on home while that bread is still warm. And take care. It looks like the snows are starting up again.
So you wish to hear a story? I have a story. In the faraway world of Everden lies a vast forest nestled between the mountains and the sea. The Humblewood, a sprawling woodland realm made by the gods themselves, with titanic trees that can grow as tall as mountains and as wide as cities. And the beings that inhabit this forest are unique as well. Beasts that can grow to enormous sizes, nature spirits of elemental fury, and a people known by fur and feather. The humble folk. But in this ancient and magical place, all beings hum with an endless song, the great rhythm of life and death, and above all else, balance. But balance is such a fragile thing. When the snows started early, little concern was given. Some years had short autumns. Perhaps the storm god Altus had flapped his wings too hard and sent an early frost. The hearths were stoked, the children were bundled, and the food stores were open so that none was left hungry. But long after spring should have arrived, the snows remained, and with each day, week, month, year of growing disquiet, the rhyme endured. It has been 5 years, and the hearths have gone cold, the children are shivering, and the food stores, as well as many bellies, are left empty. Yet there is hope. Not in the place anyone would think to look for it, no. Hope often arrives in the most unexpected ways. That flicker of light in the cold dark. A group of ordinary folk bound by fate, friendship, and the call to do what is right. This is the tale of those unlikely adventurers who fought to achieve the impossible. The tale of how everyday people can rise to become heroes that save their world. This is their story. This is your story. This is Humblewood, the Unwelcome Winter. Hail, honored, humble friends, and welcome to Humblewood, the Unwelcome Winter. That's right, I came up with the tagline this time. I'm Derek. I am your GM for this game. I am your the map that you use to navigate the Humblewood. Typically, I'm a guiding compass. A map seems apt for this. I don't know, compasses work too. Welcome back to Humblewood, the Unwelcome Winter. This is session 2 out of probably 12, hopefully 12. That's what I told these lovely folks they would be playing, and I'd like to set expectations. I'm going to have these lovely folks say a little bit about themselves and their characters here in a moment, but I do want to emphasize this is a charity campaign. All of these wonderful people chose to support actually a really wonderful cause for this game. So the support for this game is in support of Fauna and Flora International. You can support, I'm going to say that word a lot, you can donate to that organization through the Tiltify link that you can find in chat, and if you donate at certain levels, you can impact this game as well. You can give advantages, you can give crits, you can cause complications, group crits, group advantages, all sorts of stuff like that. It's really neat, and when you do, you get to support a great organization that helps to protect wildlife all across the world. One note about Fauna and Flora International: it is a UK-based organization, so when you donate, it will be changed over there will be an exchange rate to pounds, to British pounds, so bear that in mind when you are trying to hit those levels. So it's not a $5 level, it's a £5 level, so keep that in mind. Okay, let's go ahead and go around and have some of these lovely folks say a little bit about themselves. Once again, I was not prepared with who's actually at the top, so, and that's not helpful, and that's not, hey, it's Christian. Okay, cool. I should have known, like, in my head it was Christian, but okay, Christian, take it away. A little bit about yourself and who you're playing.
Hey everybody. Hey, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba, on several socials, mainly on TikTok and Twitch, where you can see me play several games with several of my wonderful friends on several days. It depends on how I feel that week. I am a TTRPG performer and educator, which means I teach people how to play TTRPGs, and I am playing Argus, Ironclaw, Strigg, Scofflaw, I still know how to say that word, Scofflaw Fighter.
Yeah, it what I always say is, if it's a made-up word, you can't mispronounce it, you know, just however you say it, that's canon.
Hey, oh man, but that leaves the door open so wide.
Thank you, Christian. Next up, Anniek.
Hi, my name is Anniek. I will be playing Mochi, the adorable trickster cleric who somehow managed to wear scale mail and still be stealthy. I'm here currently on Sundays. I will be here many other times. And I'm an incredible pedant, so I'll point out that scofflaw is not a made-up word. It's a proper British word, and there is a proper pronunciation, and Google can tell you what it is.
I sit corrected. And to the point of pedantry, happy birthday, Anniek.
Thank you!
I'll let you get away with that because it's your special day.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. Pronouns are she and they. I do a little bit of everything in the TTRPG realm. I perform, I design my own stuff, I mod for some of these lovely channels. All of that. I will be playing Marley Ambernest, who is a champion fighter squirrel folk. So,
you sure that's the name?
it's the name everybody knows currently.
That's true. Okay.
So we're gonna look. I'm doing the recap today. Just a spoiler alert for everybody. Yeah. So we're gonna get into it. There's gonna be some drama today. Apparently, we're gonna get into it.
I don't know about that. A game like this. Next up, we have Pan.
We done to cough. So sorry. Hi, I'm Pan. He, him. Let me say again. Hi, I'm Pan. He, they. I'll be playing Volderol, the spore druid or trash druid, as we've monitored him. And he, him. You can usually find me on Twitter instead of on call. Sorry, terrible cough. And you can find me on various podcasts and like stuff like Cosmopunk, Emergency Power, and so on. And that's all on my Twitter as well, and my Blue Sky and whatnot. Oh, it's X now. Whatever. You can find me there.
Well, it's Twitter. Yeah,
I know, right? Like, come on. Like, if I tell people I'm looking around on X for pictures, they're gonna be like, "Hey, man, this is work."
Yeah, that's not a work appropriate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pan. Last, absolutely not least, Shadow.
Hello everybody, I'm Shadow. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a Twitch streamer here. I'm also a TTRPG player, as is evident with me being here today. I'll be playing Clarence, who is your Lupu Bard, College of the Road. Lupu is a rabbit folk, in case anybody did not know that.
Certainly is. Okay, well, I believe, like Liz said, we have a recap. So, Liz, I'm gonna switch the music a little bit for you because this very adorable music I don't think necessarily fits the tone of our game. But please, it is all yours. Take it away.
All right. So last week at this time, Derek, so to be fair, I just want to let everybody know I've written these notes out ahead of time. I'm just going to read them verbatim. So here, okay. So Derek, our incredibly skilled and handsome DM, gives us the story of the Humblewood, detailing the 5-year winter and all of the consequences surrounding it. So we're not going to go into super details, but it's been a 5-year winter. It's been a long time. We're cold and we're hungry. After much debate, our party decides that the Gargath is named Buttercup the Fearless. That was honestly the second most important thing that happened last time. But yeah, Buttercup the Fearless. Yeah. Okay. On our party members' trek to the Alderheart, they stumble upon what appears to be a murder most foul, FOWL, because we did see very large bird tracks in the snow, where Mochi and Argus investigate the scene very thoroughly. And we pick up a second cart after finding only large bird-type footprints and some blood in the snow that will literally never go away. Okay. After passing through the murder clearing, our party comes across a couple of perch guard who are definitely trying to shirk their duties. So instead, we send them back to the murder scene instead of allowing them to escort us the rest of the way to the Alderheart because they should be doing their job. When we arrive at the gates to be checked in and receive our rations, we get heckled by the perch guard again, specifically the guy who reviews the paperwork. That quickly comes to a stop when a finely dressed badger arrives on the scene and tells them to give us the full request. So after we finally enter the Alderheart, we go to meet Mochi's family and we have dinner, and they are perfectly lovely folk and we're all very excited to be there. Clarence pulls an emerald with everybody's food, and we find out just how much of an ass Camden is as he burns one of Mochi's letters home in front of her, and we learn the name of the fancy badger and his profession. At the end, we end up with Marley managing to lose Clarence in a crowd before heading up to meet with Lord Asher Starfellow, who effectively tells her that she knows nothing, Jon Snow, nothing about how hard the times actually are. And to the audience, he reveals that her real name is Harlow. And that's where we ended.
Bit of a cliffhanger. I'm gonna have you all hang on that cliff for a little bit longer, as I would like to. Mochi decided to go to Holy Branch. So, Mochi, leaving your home in the evening. That's not the music I wanted. Leaving your home in the evening. I have two things that are called trees, and heading to Holy Branch. What's going through Mochi's head? You did leave before Marley did, so left your companions behind with your dad, maybe extended family, those people who are family while they're not blood related. You're leaving them in safe hands, and you leave the guild area. It's still the same level, I believe, that Holy Branch is on with the guild levels. So what's pulling Mochi in this direction?
Mainly like a sense of duty when she was still she hasn't let it go yet, but while she's studying for the entrance exam and in her fervent belief that she would absolutely become a wizard one day, she learned a lot of lessons about discipline and applying yourself and putting in the work and making your hours. And there's people at Holy Branch who helped her come to deal with the fact, after a few mental breakdowns, that her magic was in fact clerical.
Yeah.
And they helped her, set her with meditation, but also the whole, part of being a good cleric of even if it's Hath, right? Hath isn't the most conventional god, but still, you sweep the floors, you make sure you hand out the food, you help people. And when you come back to the Alderheart, you check in and see if there's anything that they desperately need a low-level priest who doesn't necessarily want to be a priest for.
Right. So, I'm actually, I stand corrected. The Holy Branch is in the canopy. So from where you are right now, I think you do need to rise a little bit. So going up the shaped, not carved, but shaped stairwells and lifts, and it says ladders. I'm not sure you necessarily have to take a ladder to get to Holy Branch. It should be accessible to all humble folk, as it is the greatest religious site in the Alderheart itself. And it is becoming evening, and you are passing by fewer and fewer people the further in you go. At a certain point, it's only small groups of acolytes, each of them wearing their own insignias for their gods. They look to you, your scaled armor representing a deity, and they nod very solemnly to you, going about their business as well. When you do reach Holy Branch, you see what all see when they reach this site of beauty and solemn divinity, this display of these beautiful stained glass windows, each displaying one of the amaranthines, one of the gods of the Humblewood. It's lost a bit of its luster, I will have to admit, as you can see that there are bags of sand or something, these canvas or burlap bags that have been packed around the edges of the window, trying to both still display the majesty of these deities, but also try to keep the cold out. These are probably the first windows that you've seen that haven't been completely just sealed through to try to keep what heat there is. And there's definitely a chill as you enter this area that's trying to be pushed back with these braziers and these just perhaps even magical heat that is tried to be added to the area, but it's not enough to cut through what's coming in.
No.
And there's few
5 years, I'd imagine.
Yeah, there's only so much you can really do with that. And these windows were not made for dealing with long winters like that. But you find yourself looking at the gods themselves, Altus, Ardea. I'm going to read them off because I don't have them memorized. Kaerith, Kulkurin, Gaspard, Gesme, Hanera, Hath, Rhea, Henwin, Kren, and Titan. And perhaps, your eyes last just a little bit longer on Hath, this starry raccoon with these little bits of stained glass stars all creating its form in what is meant to be the night sky, the darkest of all the windows. Is there anywhere in particular you're looking to go? Anything you're looking to do?
She'll stop at Hath's window for a second, do her little devotion, wash her little paws.
There's a very small, a very small humble folk there, a little gerbine that is making a little offering as well, and looks up to you and sees the symbol of Hath on your breastplate. Are you also one of Hath's followers?
I am. She's really quite. I'm trying to say nice words. The High Priestess told me to say nice words about my goddess. She has an odd sense of humor. But yes, I am one of her followers.
If it wouldn't be too much to ask, do you mind if I could get a blessing?
Not at all, small one. I mean, it's a raccoon. You don't kneel for Hath. Instead, you assume sort of like an uppies position, I imagine. Mochi, she's not gonna, there's words, but words are just words. So she'll just invoke duplicity and actually just cast guidance on the little gerbine to give him just a little bit of help in whatever it is they're trying to do here.
Thank you, miss. Blessings upon you.
And upon you.
I really like that. I really like that description. I always thought of trickery clerics, like a blessing would be like, okay, high five, down low, too slow, something like that, where you got your ear, got your nose,
No, I think my duplicate and I do it together.
It's very nice.
In a non-filthy way.
And you look around at the other windows and see that absolutely there are what little these humble folk can give. The last time, perhaps there was more food here. Food is not what is being given anymore. And if it is very sparing. These are people who maybe think that if they have a little bit left after what they've eaten, if they give it to the gods, perhaps the gods can end this winter. You can absolutely see, I believe it's Altus. Yes, Altus has the most. That window is just overflowing with wealth. I mean, just objective wealth. And anything these people can give, since Altus is the god of storms, something must have made him mad. Something must have. Stop giving us this. It's enough. Thank you.
Yep. After that, though, Sarah is the one that helps me the most, even though she's a high priestess. She has an odd amount of patience for Mochi, and she's a priest of Ardea, so she'd be aiming for the Ardea temple, because the Hath temple is, I mean, you kind of have to wait till nightfall to go to the Hath temple.
Right.
It's gotta be proper dark before you go to Hath.
Absolutely. And again, there's not a lot of people around, but you very easily would retrace the steps you've traced so many times to the Temple of the Dawn Mother, the Temple of Ardea. And I think probably as a high priestess being the last one there, you do find Sira Scarly-Trill. And she is just tending to a small bit of incense that kind of really, it's not a bad smell, but it fills the area that you're within. And you do feel as you're getting closer to her that there's a warmth, an ambient radiance that does come off of her, perhaps a level of divinity that she has achieved. And she looks up. Hello, Mochi.
Hello, Sarah.
welcome back. It's been quite some time.
I've been away for a bit. I've been helping people get supplies. We're just back in from Beer Cheer, and they tried to stiff us at the gate, but we got what we needed, so we'll be heading out again soon, I think. But I figured I'd come pay respects and ask if there's anything you need from me tonight, and tell you to tell people that need to know that there's perch guards that are supposed to be patrolling, that don't want to do their jobs, and try to be really rude to me to make me do their job. They called me a peasant.
Mochi.
Yes. Right,
It's
talk
very
slower,
nice.
breathe more.
It's very nice to have you back. Even for a short time. Have you been doing good out in the woods?
I think so. I blessed someone just outside.
That is an act of good.
We found this weird ambush with people that were taken, but I checked to make sure there weren't any wounded that needed my help first.
These are cold and dangerous times, it seems.
It's much nicer in the Alderheart than this out there, I must admit. But that's why I'm out there.
Even here, things are not as nice as they seem on the outside. There are many people here who are suffering, and we can only do what we can.
It's true.
It might not be the worst idea to stop by the Roots and pass around some good there before you leave.
Stop by the Roots. Do good. Check.
Have you heard from your god lately? Any messages from Hal?
Nothing as overt as the first time, no. Though, I managed to sneak in my plate, so I think she still likes me.
I'm sure she does. They speak to us, all of the Amaranthines, in their own way. It's not always a letter or a call from the heavens.
No, the call from the heavens was... I think once was enough.
Unfortunately, it probably won't be the last.
Oh no. But I'm trying to be really good so she doesn't do it again.
It's never out of anger. Well, not always. Sometimes. You don't want those.
Sometimes. It's true.
Don't worry about that right now, Mochi. If you could help me sweep up and then perhaps join me in a final prayer for the night as we snuff the last lights out, that'd be very nice to have some company.
Excellent. Mochi's already grabbing a broom.
All right. I do want to check in with our I think the coziest of the folk. So Argus, Volderol, and Clarence. You find yourself still in the guild hall area. Still warm. Still, this is kind of tented off. Again, there's a lot of pipes around that all lead to the outside of the Alderheart, but themselves, they're feeding steam outwards. So the pipes are warm, not overly hot to the touch. There's definitely like much more heat in this area, but it's also a lot more crowded. You all have absolutely eaten, and I think the last thing we were doing was kind of just like people watching in the corner. Is there anything any of you would like to do? It's okay if the answer is no, just want to check in. Okay, nothing from Argus. Clarence, Volderol?
I think I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
I think Volderol is curious to talk to the other keepers of the tree, but also is sticking with the group for now.
Fair enough.
We have a mission, so.
Okay. Yeah, and sticking around, there's more activity here than I think you all have kind of seen in a long time. There's a lot of chatter. There's the ringing of a hammer on an anvil that's somewhat dulled. It's almost like they're using a low-level silence spell to not silence it altogether, but try to be considerate of the people around. But yeah, there's a hubbub in your area, and definitely plenty of people to watch. And it might even be that this is where you fall asleep for the evening. That is a complete potential thing, is to all just there's plenty of people who have taken up cots or have lied down on the floor in this warm area. Okay, well then, let's cut back to a about this same time, if Clarence has returned to the other two, Marley, you have found your way further up into the branches and found your way to the great wooden doors of the council chamber, the Council of the Elder Heart. And before you were quite able to reach them, a familiar figure from your past, a badger, a Linelli is their humble folk type, named Asher Starfellow, has pulled you aside and has informed you that things are more dire than most people know in the Humblewood, and has also addressed you as Harlow.
I have to admit, Asher, I'm a bit I'm at odds because I have to. We have people back home who can't feed their families. We were told at the gates that they were only going to give us 2 tons for an entire village. Things are bad out there.
Incredibly so. And only getting worse by the day.
So how can it be worse than what we've seen?
The first year, we thought this was just an anomaly. The second year, we hoped it was a trick. The third year, a bad joke, and by the fourth, a calamity, and now, I'm not even sure what to call it, an apocalypse? And there's no end in sight, and there's no one doing anything about it.
She kind of gestures up and down. You're obviously a part of the council now. What do you mean no one is doing anything about it?
I mean that there are members of the council who are hiding what they know. There are members of the council who should be acting and aren't. And I don't know which one is which. But I know...
What good would that do for them?
It might save face. Listen, this is not an ideal place to talk. Are you staying somewhere?
She literally cracks up. She's, I'm staying with one of my companion's family, and they are in the industrial district. We're she gives him Mochi's father's name that does not come to my mind at the moment. I'm sure he might know who that is, maybe.
Yes, Rutherford Guestwick Brightstream.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
So we're staying with the Brightstream family.
Yes, the industrial district is quite busy these days.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind being seen in public with me, I will try to disguise myself as best as possible. Perhaps we might get a late night drink and chat this over in less conspicuous setting.
Lead on.
And he does so.
Pulls up her hood as they go. I came prepared this week. I have a hood.
And he grabs a cloak as well that he has kind of like wrapped over his shoulder. And it is not at the station, that it's not like silken or anything like that. It is a little dirty. You kind of like, I'm not even going to make you roll for this. You pick up a little bit that like the dirt is manufactured, you know, that it is. These are like, these are pre-distressed jeans, you know. But he does lead you downwards and downwards in the Elder Heart to where you are traveling towards the market district once again. And I will get a stealth check.
No.
From you and him, just there's not a lot of people out, but just to see, you know, if anybody would necessarily recognize the form of both of you.
That's a 13.
Okay. It was a 19 from him.
Nice.
So, nope. So 32. Nope, that's not how that works. Okay, so a 16 average, not terrible. I think that there are a couple of eyes that dart towards the two of you, but in a way that, like, anytime you're passing somebody and everybody else has kind of gotten their hoods up, a lot of the warm light has been snuffed out as night comes. And it's mostly the magical light, which doesn't give off heat.
Sure.
And fire is a tenuous thing in the Alderheart.
Yeah.
Something that is well guarded. But yes, he leads you down to the market district, and you find a tavern. And I did get a suggestion from LD about this a little while ago. That I'm not finding. Damn. Okay. I will find the name for the tavern here in just a moment. But he leads you into a pretty sparsely populated tavern. And within, you find a hedgefolk at the bar. There are a couple of corvums in the corner. But there's barely anyone in here. And you're kind of picking up that if alcohol also comes from oftentimes grains or food, that alcohol itself is probably a luxury that a lot of people can't afford anymore. Especially something that even provides, what do you want to call it, like a false heat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is Reynard's Den is the name of this, which I thought was great. He takes up a seat, offers a couple of glasses of mead for the two of you. One of the things that, thanks to the tenders, bees are still protected in some areas and honey can be utilized. So, before we get into all of this, where have you been all this time?
I don't think that's important.
All right.
We... She just, like, sighs and, like, looks off into the distance.
Listen, I've had this problem for quite some time. I joined the council midwinter, so 2.5 years ago, roughly. I replaced the last master of coin who couldn't handle the stress of telling folk who came and looked hungry that they could only have so much food. And those numbers have dwindled more and more, the numbers of food, of course. Well, the numbers of humble folk as well, unfortunately. And it dawned on me at a certain point that the other members of the council were just talking, and they've always just talked. But in this case, the same talk happened over and over to where no changes actually occurred. And it dawned on me that they knew more than they were saying. I have tried to create a bond with our Master of Whispers, and I have tried to learn what I could without giving away too much of what I knew. I've discovered that something was taken, Carla. Something very powerful was taken from the avium, and I believe that is the cause of all of this. And there is no one else that I can trust. I can't trust the Perch Guard, because the captain of that might be involved. I can't trust the avium because the archmages might be involved. I can't trust the priests at Holy Branch. But you are like a godsend because you are someone that I know I can trust. You laugh, but you know it's true. You kept me safe for years, and
she kind of clears her throat, laughs a little bit, and like looks down at the cup of mead in her hands, and she says, what is it that's missing? What could have caused this?
I don't know. That I don't know.
So you suspect that something has been taken, but
I know something has been taken, and I know that the representative for the avium, the member of the council, I know that he is hiding that something's been taken, and perhaps, again, it's to save face. Perhaps it's to say that nothing could ever take something from the avium, the greatest font of magical knowledge. But I know that Umber is hiding something. And I don't believe that he is alone in this. So, yes, I am asking you to solve a 5-year mystery. But if there's anybody who could do it, and if you say you have friends, then you don't have to do it alone.
I appreciate that you have such faith in me. But
Harlow, it is that, but it also is a lack of choice.
sure.
There's a reason I have asked no one else in these 2.5 years. I have not known who to trust. And I have not had someone as capable as you watching my back. That's not meant to flatter, that's a point of fact.
Oh, it's not flattery, it's just insulting that you asked me to leave in the first place. Regardless. Yeah, I think we can probably handle whatever this is. Luckily, I know some people at the Avium, strangely enough now. So I think I can probably get my grubby little paws on whatever it is you're looking for. And maybe we can fix this.
All right. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry that I have to ask this, and I'm sorry that I had to ask that. And we don't have to discuss it at this point.
She starts pulling on her cloak and she's like, I don't want your apologies. I don't want your sorries. I don't want any of this.
All right. Then as Master of Coin, I can assure you and your friends a hearty reward in coin or food.
And I don't want your money either. She picks up the cup of mead, slams it, and like tosses it all back like you are totally not supposed to do with mead, puts down the cup and gets up and walks out and heads back for Mochi's place.
He does not follow. Marley, find your way back to Mochi's place. It's pretty easy to find. The guild district is. I don't think that you would have trouble navigating your way through the Alderheart. And you rejoin. We can say hour or two. Probably makes sense for travels and everything. With your 3 other companions. Mochi, it might be about this point that you are returning as well, unless you had any other stops you wanted to make along the way.
Sweep floors, snuff candles. By then it's probably properly dark.
Yeah. No ambient light is coming through those windows anymore.
Quick stop in the Temple of Hath.
Mm-hmm.
Have a little disguised self face off with whatever other acolyte is there. Just show off the faces you picked up in the last few weeks.
The Temple of Hath. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm supposed to go do good, but this is way more fun. She wants to do good, but it's so much better. So pulls herself away after a little bit. After making herself look probably like Camden a little bit, and walking around going, wait until my father hears about this, and just walks out. And I'm supposed to go do good at the Roots, but we're just gonna stop by Dad's place and see if there's any food left over. Or
yeah, and I think it's also, maybe a suggestion for tomorrow, not necessarily for tonight, to go do good at the Roots. It's pretty late.
She likes, she likes to get all. If you give her something to do, she's gonna try and do it like within hours rather than days. Because after that, you're good to do whatever you want. So as soon as your work's done, you get to go fuck around.
Syrah calls out to you as you're about to leave. By the way, do that tomorrow. I see you.
Deeply, deeply caught. Of course, I was always gonna do it tomorrow, Sarah.
I should note the Temple of Hath is particularly beautiful in its own way. It's very dark, but the really neat thing about it is that the roof of it, the wooden structure that has been shaped, has little glowing gemstones that have been set into the ceiling, I should say, so that the light glinters off them like stars. And there is a very similar shape of Hath, this raccoon in the night sky as well. So it's very dark in here, except this very low light that makes it seem like the night sky above, and they have formed the constellations that the Humblewood would be familiar with. But yes, the 5 of you are reunited once again. And it is late. Most people have pulled up a blanket or a cot or whatever they can to try to keep in the warmth as they sleep. What is your all's plan for the evening?
I would say Clarence is passed out. Clarence has laid down on the bench and is very much asleep.
Okay.
Poor buddy.
Mochi's also planning on crashing here, but she's like, looks at Marley, looks at Argus, looks at Volderol, shakes Clarence awake. I'm so sorry, can you help me get out of this scale mill? I am not asking one of the others. I am not, no. 2 seconds so you can go back to sleep, I swear.
Okay.
Just unhook the thing under my shoulder I can't reach.
Oh, you mean this thing?
Perfect. Thank you.
Back up.
Oh my gosh.
Just sleepily doffing armor.
I love that.
Yeah. Mochi will 100% like tuck Clarence back into a little cloak, but she will...
Sorry, Clarence, but before you fall back asleep, she kind of looks around the room and then looks at Mochi and says, does your dad have a workshop or something here that would be private that we can talk in?
Oh, private.
Someplace where we can talk.
There's a little alcove over there that we used to keep stuff that explodes in, but it exploded, so we're not using it right now.
Perfect.
It has a door, that's why everything else is still standing.
Solid. I love that.
It's a very solid door.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Okay. Shall we?
You all go to the blast door alcove.
Like, there's gotta be a reason that Allerhard is still standing despite all of these raccoons working here.
Oh my
Welcome to Humblewood. Look at all these adorable little anthropomorphic creatures that create dynamite. Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Oh
What's
my gosh.
C4? C4 is an explosive.
Right, we'll close the little blast doors from my little raccoon hands.
Do any of you have any... She kind of does this with her paws. Something that will create, I don't know, like so we can't be heard. I don't want anybody to hear us.
I just look at Clarence. She's the magic one.
Actually, I've got magic before, but nothing like that.
I mean, I could deafen people, but like, I don't think that's what you need.
All right. Well, and then she just kind of like pulls them all in a little bit closer and whispers the theory that Asher has posited, and looks both at Clarence and Mochi and says, "It's your time to shine. I think that you both have folks at the Avium, or potentially, Mochi, folks at the Holy Branch who would be able to help us here, who might know what's going on, people that you trust."
Derek, am I allowed back at the Avium? Or did
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, honestly, they would
Wasn't,
love
like,
to have
banned for
Clarence
life.
back. Like Clarence left of their own volition. Like Mochi's the
That's
one who's
right.
got to earn her way back in.
That's right. Okay.
I always go visit my mom. No.
Or Mochi's mom, I guess, was the other thought there. Yeah.
Yeah, like Mochi's got a way in, but it's not like Mochi's got the nepotism way in. Clarence, they're like, "Oh my God, welcome back! You're the best student we've ever had."
I get the little guest badge, and Clarence just gets the all access pass.
Yeah,
and
Clarence has
Mochi.
the lanyard and everything.
Yeah. I just have the little guest badge and a lot of audacity, which also gets you a lot of places.
That's true.
That's all you need.
Hello, my name is Mochi. My mom works here.
Also, have you met my god?
Yeah.
Well, I think we can figure something out and work.
I do think when you're talking like trusting people at the AVM, I go about as far as to say I trust my mom, and everyone else seems very like the kind to lose track of what's right while looking for things to know or do. They can be a little obsessive.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to approach it with like a, in theory, situation.
Yeah,
like
make it
you
academic.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I know 2 people at Holy Branch that I know are cool, and everyone else who knows, depends on their god.
She kind of looks over at Argus and Volderol. Do you two have any thoughts on this? This was my only thought, was we've got folks who know people, but at this point it's all people we don't even know if we can trust.
Well, this is just I don't have any I don't really have any connections to this place. Certainly nothing as esteemed as the Avium. But if it's been stolen, I don't think they're going to be talking about it. That's a big tarnish on reputation. And reputation means everything to places like that.
But if it has been stolen, would you know people who would be able to help move it?
I mean, it's worth investigating. Criminals, while we are sneaky, do talk.
Okay.
Yeah, Argus, I will give this to you. There's always been talk of heisting the Avium in circles. That's like, if you can get past all that wizard BS, there's stuff to have.
Yeah, and then someone stealing from the Avium, the person would have been able to keep their mouth shut. They would have said something. Someone would have said something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I could look around, ask around.
Okay.
If we're talking magic and holy people, side-eyeing Volderol here, wouldn't the tenders have ideas? They do the weather and the tree and the nature magic.
It's likely that they know, but as to who our culprit might be, these guys don't really tend to leave the tree often.
No, but they might know what got stolen.
Yeah, wouldn't they know weather stuff?
They would know what kind of magic item makes winter, right?
What's a shot? There's no chance we can ask your contact, Molly?
Well, you've all met him, Asher. So, I mean, I can get a message to him if we all want to, I don't know, drag him in here into this closet and pick his brain.
I think he's a little big for the closet, already very squashed.
Mochi absolutely had a question. Excuse me, Miss Marley? Why did Asher come to you about this, and when? Because I know I went to the temple, but I don't think Asher likes to come down here, and my dad would have said something.
Yeah, he passed me a note when we were coming through the gate. And told me to meet him up near the council chambers tonight.
That's the when.
Mm-hmm.
Are we getting a why?
No, Marley just.
Mostly sometimes adults have adult reason for things. Maybe.
Fuck you, I'm an adult.
You'll find out when you're older.
Is Mochi an adult?
You'll find out when you're older. No,
Mochi is an adult, legally speaking. She's 8.
Okay.
That's a solid
She's lived
8
whole years as an adult, grinding on this world.
A solid 8, if I remember from last
He is
time.
8. Maypax reach adulthood around 8, okay?
Okay, more of an emotional thing, I think.
Yeah.
Marley will come to me when she feels like it.
Well, Marley kind of looks to the left over Mochi's shoulder and just kind of like stares at the wall, and she says, "I I've had a whole life since before I was in Birchier, and I used to work for the council before they asked me to leave."
Huh.
It's not very nice of them.
It's not very nice. But if he doesn't trust the council, then it would make sense to ask someone who was asked to leave by the council in an enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of way.
I can tell you that Asher is... I trust him with my life. We're not very close anymore, but I would trust him with my life.
So, just to be clear, we're talking like a full-out rebellion against the council?
It sounds very much like there are people who have done something and they're not talking about it and they won't own up to what's happened and they are just letting everyone else take the fall.
This will be my first rebellion!
If this is true and we find what got stolen, they kind of have to let me back in, don't they?
I mean, I feel like they'd let you into the avium at that point.
I feel like they'd let you in anywhere.
The magical item.
I feel like they'd let you in anywhere, honestly. You could just literally be like, yo, I ended winter.
Right? I could skip to the second year!
Right. Well, I'm so glad that we're all on board for this little mission. It's going to be great.
Are you on board?
Me?
Hmm.
Oh, well. I mean, I'm here. I'm with you. We're all in this together.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Not exactly an answer, but I'll take it. Said this, you trust this person with your life, so that's as good as I need.
Boulderol, you've been awfully quiet this whole time.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm not super excited about being back here with Defenders. But whatever it takes to end this winter, I'm in. So your friend trusts you with this information, then, well, it's got to be something worth trusting. I just feel like we maybe shouldn't go asking everybody. Just make sure we don't out ourselves investigation.
Absolutely not.
All right, so we pick one person per each section, and then that's the only person that we ask, and then we gather our clues, and then we save the world.
Okay, if you talk to the wrong person, they will tell the others. That's a problem. We need to probably work around like who's most trustworthy, or at least who's the least involved.
I so very much appreciate Volderol and Argus for trying to make decent criminals out of all of you. So Clarence is just like, yeah, let's just go out there. Let's knock some heads. Like, whoa, rookie. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll give a sec for Anniek to rejoin us here. I just as a heads up, I did post all of the council members in Zoom chat, so you can see them there. So they all have titles, essentially. So we do have a high priestess of all of Holy Branch, kind of a representative of the Amaranthine. an archmage for the avium that is not the archmage, that is like a representative. Captain of the Perch Guard, Sybil of the Tenders, a Master of Coin, which is Asher, Master of Whispers, and then the Council Speaker. So I understand that's also not ideal in Zoom chat, but if you need any of their names, please let me know.
The Archmage of the Avium, Umber, is the one that Asher had mentioned, right? That is the name.
Correct.
That he gave us, Umber. Okay.
Yeah, Umber Smokekeeper is the Archmage of the Avium who Asher suspects is not being completely honest, because Asher has determined from the Master of Whispers, who is Isabella's Sunbanner, who's a Gallus. He determined from Isabella that something was stolen, but Umber refuses to acknowledge that. Says it's just rumor.
Okay.
That the avium has never been infiltrated before. How dare you? Possibly suggest such a ridiculous thing.
If you go down to the criminal quarters, it's like, yeah, we stole from the avium shit.
Oh yeah, we stole all the shit. Yeah,
we stole paper clips and documents and manila folders. Like, this is easy to steal from.
We stole things they didn't even need. Yeah,
exactly, and they just don't miss it. They're like,
we stole students.
And we stole this device here. Like, what the fuck is that? It's crazy.
Stole this flower from this bunny. Yeah, made it real sad. Clarence's entire villain origin story. Yeah.
A quick aside while we wait for Anniek to come back. If you are not in the Sorting Key Discord yet, you are missing some very, very fantastic fan art in the Humblewood chat right now. So just saying, you should probably check that out. If you're not already there, please join us on the Discord, because it's amazing.
Okay, we got Anniek coming back here, so we can jump back into stuff as soon as they are able to reconnect.
It helps.
Technology's hard.
Reconnecting.
Yeah, you're getting there.
It's like my new computer background right there.
Hey.
Welcome back, Anniek.
Seems to at least be detecting a camera. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. You're all good. All we said while you were gone is I listed the council members in Zoom chat, so you should be able to see those. And we just noted that Umber Smokekeeper, who is the representative archmage for the avium, is the one that's been a little shady, because Asher has determined that something has been stolen from the avium. Umber refuses to acknowledge that that is the case.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I would consider, aside from Asher, maybe even Asher put into the pool of people you necessarily can't trust.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Okay. So with that, I'm assuming we're all sleeping for the evening.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
All right. The next day arrives, and you all awake, probably for the first time, not having to stoke a fire to try to keep warm. Not stoke a hearth or worry that you're gonna burn down your home in the night just trying to fight the cold on the outside. You all awaken somewhat, I would say, warmth-wise comfortable. Perhaps not super comfortable in the sense that you might have to lie on the ground or a bench. It might be a little stiff. And yet, you find yourself also waking up not having had to make breakfast. And you would see that once again, the pot that had stew in it the night before has something in it this morning, some sort of gruel that has been prepared. Volderol, I think that you, more than anyone else, would certainly pick up the smell of some sort of fungus, some sort of edible fungus emanating from this gruel.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check it out, see if I can discern what this is. See if
Certainly.
see if it's been prepared well. See if it's compliments to the chef, or you're doing it wrong.
I would say, give me a nature check if you can pick out what's going on here.
See if I need to go Gordon Ramsay on these guys.
Is it still Mochi's dad who's cooking this morning?
Yes.
Oh boy. Boy. Okay. In party fighting for sure. If
Well, it's a 16.
A 16. Okay, with that, I think you are pretty certain that these are, I'm going to say 99% sure these are mushrooms that have been plucked from the Tender's fungus grove in the Alderheart. That they were sourced from there. this isn't gourmet by any means. I mean, it's gruel, right? But the mushrooms at least have been prepared well. They're adding a fragrance. They're adding likely a good taste to what is otherwise a not very tasty thing, and a little texture as well. So probably not something that would be on Hell's Kitchen, but still a comfort food nonetheless.
Yeah, Volo chews slowly. Is her father still about?
Yeah, no, he is ladling again, line of people with bowls. He is ladling as they go, goggles on to prevent splashback. PPE is important.
Right. And was this the same rule as yesterday, or has he added a mushroom now?
This is more of a breakfast gruel. The last one had a different, maybe a tomato base. Question mark.
Okay.
It's very watered down in all cases, but this one has like more like a porridge, I guess, or like an oatmeal like texture to it.
Yeah, just I'm just munching away as well.
Yeah,
feels like the old days. It needs more spice, but yeah, it's not bad.
Clarence is always there to spice your food should you need.
Yeah.
He like holds it all away from. No, I was just talking myself. But actually, what do you have?
Magic?
Right. See, no, I obviously big appreciator of magic, but also, and I'm going to rummage around in my pockets and pull out just like it's a small handful of dirt with some more mushrooms in it and some other like. Goes, no, you see what you want to do. If you want it, it's got to be nice and earthy, right? I'm going to grind the dirt without asking into Clown's food and my food. And just to be like, there, let's try some of that. Put some.
Okay, all right. And I'm gonna eat it. And I assume when I take the first bite, it's just like kind of like wet dirt in your mouth. And I'm like,
very peaty. Yeah.
You get that? You get a real sense there. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Very hearty.
Yeah. Listen, don't rely on magic for everything. Okay, you gotta learn to do it yourself. Here, have some more. Bit more dirt in there for you.
Don't rely on magic, okay?
Right, not all the time. But when it comes to cooking,
get just a little crunch of gravel in your back molars.
You feel that? That's flavor. That is.
Yeah, My mom used to say that it really helps your teeth get stronger. Yeah.
Wow, your mom's a smart lady. You know what? Have some. I'm gonna just dump some more in there. Just you know what? If you're used to it, then you can go a bit extra. More for you, more for me. This stuff is like it's pretty much a silt now that we're both eating.
You're so kind.
You're welcome. You're welcome, kid. You're all right. And I ruffle their hair and go back to eating my soup.
Grow hair in your chest. Yeah.
Put some meat on your bones and hair on your chest, or anywhere else you want fur, for that matter.
All right. We can presume you all get food. What is the plan for today? Where are you all planning to head first? And are you doing so together or separate?
5-way split.
That'll be super fun for me.
Super fun. I don't think we have 5 people to talk to.
Yeah, I'm okay with sticking together so we don't get all the information all at once. But Vol does know Sybil. Alice. So the delicious earthy aroma reminds him. It's like, actually, I do have one friend here. Friends are strong words, but we could ask around. Alice, she's a hedge, one of the tenders. Well, I said one of the. She was one of the last year. I think now she's a bit higher up than that. But I could probably get to see her.
I want to meet some criminals.
Not criminals, druids. Don't call her a criminal. She doesn't like that.
Okay.
I think Clarence is looking to go to the roots, it sounds like.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like I wouldn't have the enthusiasm. It's respectable, but maybe hide a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, okay. Serious.
I have to go to the roots and do good.
What does that mean?
Men stuff, bless people that want to.
I feel like we're kind of on a time crunch here, Mochi.
So?
Just a few acts of kindness, you know.
No, it's fine. They can come with me, and if anything, there'll be a distraction or a call out point for anyone trying to not do good.
Marley, are you going with Volderol or are you going with the Argus gang is what I'm going to call it?
The Argus gang. I love it.
Look, Argus liked one of my ideas once, okay? I'm sticking with.
I should also note that, like, Argus, you do mention that, like, you know, Clarence needs to kind of toughen up a little bit, but you do look over as Clarence takes another bite of dirt, and just the face is like, oh, that's an angry bunny.
That's
it's like
watching them eat dirt and eat it. Just continue eat. Like, you can stop. Like, there's a point where you cannot eat it. And
it's winter. We don't waste food in winter time.
Like, well, that's not food anymore. It's dirt.
Oh, honey.
It's like
stop.
There's a point. There's like almost a point where like they see you eating still, and it just like puts the hand like over the whole bowl and just like rests it down.
Just no.
Please stop.
Gordor's still like tucking into his. It's sort of like there's tubers and there's bits of roots and mushrooms, but mostly dirt. And the occasional pebble, which is like a treat.
Oh dear.
I wouldn't call that a treat. We'll find stuff down in the roots. It's fine.
And I'm sorry, Marley. Yes, please.
You're good. I guess my question for Marley is twofold. The first part is she would still have family here, yeah? Who would still be connected?
I leave that to you. As I understand it, you have not seen your family in quite some time.
Correct.
Have you maintained contact with them? Are
no.
these
Everybody thinks that she is gone.
Okay, so yes, I'm assuming then distant family and not like, well, maybe even siblings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would certainly have family here.
Okay. And I guess the other half of that question is, would she have connection to, or I guess would Isabella, the Master of Whispers, would she have been in when Marley was here last? So 20 odd years ago.
Yes, which is also odd for a Master of Whispers, because it's kind of tough being a Master of Whispers that everybody knows who you are.
Yeah.
And yet, good on Isabella, she has maintained that title for an unsettlingly long time.
You know, the way you say that makes me have some questions. Okay. So would Marley have connections there considering her previous position?
Go ahead and roll for history.
Okay.
The answer is yes, but it's to the level that you would know about Isabella as well.
That's a solid 10.
Okay. Yeah, you and Isabella most certainly cross paths. She would likely recognize your face. You would most certainly recognize hers.
Okay. All right, I think I'm gonna tuck that into my back pocket then. I think I'm gonna go with Argus and Clarence down to the roots and see what we
Mochi.
can find.
Okay.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we're
yes,
leaving Volderol alone.
Yes. No, Volderol's going with Clarence, right?
No, Volderol is going to the tenders. Clarence wanted to see criminals, so Clarence is going with Argus, and Mochi is also going to do some acts of good and divine goodness.
Which is near where the criminals are going.
Yes, I'm not sure they're necessarily going in the same, like, they might split off once they get to the roots, but they're at least going to the roots together.
Got it, okay. Yes. To the roots.
Okay. Then we'll, I think that's probably actually a good time to take a break. It's about 10 minutes early, but as you all go to split off, I think that's a good breaking point. So we'll be back in 10 to 15, hang out, As always, you can support the wonderful foundation that these folks chose to support for this game, Fauna and Flora International. Should you be willing and able to support that organization through your donations, you can actually impact this game and give advantages, crits, all that kind of cool stuff. So check that out. Make sure you're aware of that. And also do be aware that if you are in the US or anywhere outside of the UK, that there is a conversion to British pounds for your donations. So bear that in mind. Stick around, folks. We'll be back. Take care of yourselves. Hello and welcome back to Humblewood, the Unwelcome Winter, everyone. Let's jump back into stuff. Actually, before we jump back into stuff, I forgot to say one thing at the top, and I'm going to remind you of one other thing. In addition to Anniek's birthday, it is also the birthday of Michael, who does the artwork for this campaign and a number of our campaigns. So happy birthday to Michael. And thank you to Michael for doing the artwork. We're almost finished with the colored artwork, so we should have that up for the next game, and actually for the promo images leading up to next game. He has done a phenomenal job so far. So yes, if you appreciate his artwork, you can find him on socials at Michael Sandoval, and you can always find him on Horizons Call every Saturday as well. Also, as a reminder, just to say this at our intervals, you can impact this game and support a wonderful cause, Fauna and Flora International, through the Tiltify link that you can find in chat. Again, it is in British pounds, so do expect a conversion rate, but you can give advantages, crits, complications, all sorts of cool stuff, and support a great cause that helps to protect this world's wildlife. Speaking of wildlife, you all have decided to do a partial party split. So let's figure out where you all are going to go. We have 4 of you going to the roots. We have 1 of you going to the tender, the Hall of the Tenders, or it's a section. It's not even necessarily a hall. They kind of have a little alcove of the tree to themselves. So let's actually start with Volderol. As you go trotting off from the party, curmudgeonly, I presume, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I imagine Volderol does a lot of things curmudgeonly, but
yeah, curmudgeonly does about somewhat most of Volderol stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's not in the best mood. He didn't want to have to come back here with his tail between his legs, literally and proverbially. But as someone who once helped tend the mushroom grows here, he's got a little in, so he's going to use it.
Definitely. Okay, so let's do this one. So Volderol, you head down, traveling through the Alderheart. Perhaps familiar steps for you as well. It's been a long time, however. You were a much younger Mapak when you walked these halls last. And you find yourself back to the alcove of the Tenders. It is probably the most green you have seen in a long time, and that's also not saying a lot, as you might have even noticed that a lot of in wintertime in the Alderheart, they still tend to some plants. The Tenders are typically put in charge of, like the decorative kind of plants and making sure that they stay alive. Even those decorative plants have long since wilted away, and the Alderheart is just this very mundane brown. But when you get to the alcove, you can see that there are plants they have tried to create almost like triage gardens. And you get that very familiar musty smell of the fungus garden, the fungus alcove, which is still being tended. And it's almost like this circle, this 360 degrees of mushrooms all growing in different directions. And there are tenders everywhere, and they all, no insight check needed, are exhausted. And you very quickly are picking up that they likely are working around the clock, getting what rest they can just to recover the ability to cast more magic, as likely whatever food is coming out of the Alderheart is being produced by the Tenders. At this point, the food stores have probably run so dry that's people are eating fresh, but they're also eating magically fresh, and there's a certain lack of flavor that comes to that when you are
eat magically
pushing.
Fresh is a nice tagline.
Yeah, you see it on, it's like USDA, but it's magically fresh. But yeah, they're literally willing this plant life, or fungus isn't a plant, it's an extant form of life. It is neither alive nor dead, but they are willing these things to grow faster than they should. They are pushing these things with magic, and you're kind of picking up that, like, you know, the first tenders, you know, broke off and became the shapers, the ones that shaped these homes, and they were asking nicely back then. They're almost yelling in a magical way at these things to grow, because it's life and death at this point. But you look around and see all of these younger druids. You know, some are children who probably have been recruited because they have some magical aptitude towards druidic magic, and they are hovering their hands over plants. They are checking off things on clipboards. There are perch guard around. For probably the first time you have ever seen, there are perch guards standing around and like keeping an eye to make sure that like none of them slip an extra ration. That
sounds bad.
Yeah, it's a very weird vibe from the last time you were here. But you walking in, as this elder, heads are kind of like turning towards you, and I don't think that Volderol gives off any other vibe other than a druid. I mean, you literally have mushrooms growing on you.
Yeah. He's very, very druid looking.
There is a younger Strig that comes kind of hopping up to you. Hello, sir. Is there something? Do you need assistance?
Well, I understand. It looks like you guys need assistance, but I'm looking for.
Certainly do.
I'm sorry. This is all. It's all so different. How long have you all been working at this?
I don't know exactly. I have to assume quite some time. I joined the order a year ago, just about.
Well, I assure you, you're doing good work. You're helping people. Keep that in mind.
Thank you, sir. You were looking for someone?
Yeah, I'm looking for an old friend. Name's Alice. Hedge, about yay high.
The Sybil. You're looking for the Sybil, sir?
Oh, the Sybil now, is it? Then yes.
Oh, yes, sir.
Youngster. Yeah, I guess I am looking for the Sybil.
Of course. Yes, she can be found at the far end of the fungus grove, sir. She's doing her rounds. I assume you'll know her when you see her. She is quite hard to miss.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Of course.
I'm gonna pat them and leave them one of my own mushrooms in solidarity, I guess.
Okay. A little mushroom pops on the top of this little owl head.
Yeah, cute. That's right.
Yeah.
Chin up, eh?
A portobello. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. It's good. You get them. You rub a bit of dirt on the top first, and you get a really nice taste out of it. It's got to be like a good bit of topsoil, though. Keep that in mind.
I will do.
Now let's go see the Sybil, and he's gonna wander off down to look for his older. I guess they had like a kind of a. How much older is Anthony than Vol?
I think Sybil and Volderol were probably coming up the same time. That you were likely peers. Okay. So I think that this is probably somebody in your age group. Of course, all humble folk age at different rates, but this is probably somebody who would be a peer to Volderol.
All right. Then,
and yes, please.
Okay, then I want to find them, but I want to make sure they don't see me first.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Okay. Oh god.
You got this.
Great, but that's 12.
Okay. I also rolled. I don't necessarily have a stat block for the Sybil, so I rolled a 12 as well. I'm gonna say meet or beat. You are sneaky enough.
She's just as preoccupied as I am sneaky.
Yeah, that's probably a good point too. Yeah, she is exhausted. But you travel down this tube essentially of mushrooms, this grove where they're growing in all directions. And once where this was, I mean, you had every type of fungus that there ever was in existence. You look around and it's only edible mushrooms now. They have gotten rid of every other type of fungus that is deemed unnecessary for survival. All the poisonous ones, all the fun ones, you know what I mean by that. All the it's white mushrooms, it's shiitake, it's portobellos, it's only the edible ones that can be, you know, grown quickly for fast consumption.
Right.
And yeah, there are tired tenders just along the way, and maybe you kind of blend in with them a little bit. But at the very far end, as the kind of tunnel ends, you see the quilled back of a hedge. And as she turns, she doesn't see you. She's talking to another tender. The wrinkles under her eyes and the lines, the crow's feet, and the like, you both again are around the same age, but age has, I should say stress has aged her so much more. So yes, she does not see you as you approach.
Then I wait for the opportune moment to be a smug bastard.
Okay.
And I say, so they got you into the job after all, eh?
And she turns to look at you, and these very tired eyes just light up for just a moment. Foley, it's been a lifetime. Where have you been?
Good to see you. It's been, yeah, a lifetime seems right. After everything that went on, I just decided I was better off on my own for a bit. But
I can't believe you're still alive, to be honest.
You know what? It's funny. Me neither. Actually, I have had some terrible run-ins. I'll tell you what.
Well, I thought the mushrooms would have eaten you a long time ago. It looks like they're trying.
Right? Look, obviously times are tough, but I've been keeping up my collection at home. And he like rolls his sleeve up to where there's more mushrooms that are covering in his fur.
Yeah.
Some of the fun ones, probably.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Kept some of your favorites as well, just in case.
Well, I wish I had time to do those anymore these days. What brings you back? Are you here to help?
In a manner of speaking, I'm here with a few small party where we've been tasked with trying to figure out what's going on with this long winter. I thought since we were in the neighborhood, I might come and say hello and see if you could help out at all. Is there somewhere we could talk a little bit more private?
Yes, I think that is something you and I should do. And she gestures for you to go towards, I guess, an office of sorts for her, an alcove that she can use. We're going to cut there and go to our root folks. We will come back to the conversation that Volderol and Alice have. For the folks heading to the roots, you all travel downwards in the Alderheart. The Alderheart itself is, again, it has a lot of stairs. It has lifts. Perhaps a lift is probably the quickest way to get to where you are going. You all just descend, and descend is probably the best word, because you go past even where the gates were. You go past the markets. You go into, even below the ground itself, into the root system of the Alderheart. And as this lift is descending, and again, it's daytime, you know, the streets are bustling, there's light, the vibe changes as you are going down. The marketplace and the music and what music there is and light there is changes to the gate system, which again is darker, damp, a little bit chillier. And you get into the roots, and it is dim down here, and it is musty, and it is close, and it is stuffy, but not necessarily cold. Like the heat has really nowhere to go. And it's that weird kind of, well, I should say your feet are cold, but like the rest of you is just warm with that stagnant air. It's that odd kind of like uncomfortable feeling. Perhaps not for all of you, I should say. Never want to impose a feeling on all of you, but that's the kind of the gist of it. And looking around the root system, it just expands outwards with these tunnels, and there are people all about. And I would say probably the first thing you note as the lift goes all the way down, 2 perch guard are standing at attention. And they look to you. Welcome. Please be on your best behavior down here. Please be on your guard as well. Should you have any valuables, do stow those away. Times are tough. And they kind of look all of you over just briefly. You all see wanted posters that are plastered on the walls. However, most of them have the depiction, the artistic depiction, scratched off. Somebody has gone around to just so only names remain. Names and bounties, of course. Where are you all going? There's plenty of places. There's taverns to go down here. I mean, there's kind of like a black market sort of deal as well. There's homes down here. Is there anywhere you all might be directed towards first?
Just for my sake.
Yeah.
I know you said that the bounties don't have faces on them, but do they have names on them?
They absolutely do. Yeah.
Are there names I recognize?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. Let me ask, because we've established this. I'm assuming Argus is real name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Argus, I don't think that you have a wanted poster, but likely you would see the surname Ironcaw. That's a name that's somewhat well known, especially in certain circles. You would definitely see that. You would see what do I want to call them? Like nicknames, like criminal names, like the Needle. Yeah, the book gives me suggestions like the Godfeather. I'm not using that.
Is
it's a pigeon.
I of course it is. And I said look into the DMs of Discord, but is Killer Queen there?
Let's see. Yes, I would say that you would definitely recognize that nom de plume. Yeah, probably some people that you've bumped into in the past. And to the point of your question, I leave that up to you. It could certainly be the full 5, or you could have left at some point in the interim as well.
We'll roll some dice. We'll roll a d6 to see how long this.
That works. That works.
Just see it. It's 3. It's 3.
Okay, so you've been out for 3 years, and yeah, in that time, there's definitely names you don't recognize. I think at a certain point in your life, you probably had a mental roster of anybody who ever appeared on a wanted poster, but there's some new names, it looks like. But also, I'm going to throw this out there. As you all look at these wanted posters, there are wanted posters for very low bounties and for probably what would have never justified a bounty 5 years ago. Like food theft, like, petty things that have become more and more important because the Perch Guard are trying to, stretch their influence.
They're not so petty anymore for reputation's sake.
Exactly. But yes, that is what you see as you walk in. It's a very bold statement to like, welcome to the roots. It's full of crime, and that's like, you all know that's not the truth. It's just where, like, where a lot of people can just afford to live. They don't get to go up in the boughs, and also it's where a lot of the mammalian, the Therian type humble folk live as well.
May I ask a question just for a point of clarification?
Please. Yeah, of course.
Is Ironcaw like a familial name, or is it a like crime family name?
I believe it's a little bit of both.
Okay, I was just curious if it would be like someone who was like your brother or your sister or your cousin or something like that you would see up there versus like this is a family name that we give to people. Okay, just curious.
Both. That's why I don't introduce myself as Argus Ironcaw in conversation.
Right.
Valid. Okay.
Yeah, Yeah, I think Argus definitely keeps the surname out of introductions. So not necessarily sure any of you would put a 1-to-1 between Argus and those individuals. But yes, Argus, again, to your question before, the individual you were asking about, you would recognize that name for a number of accused crimes, alleged crimes.
Mm-hmm. Alleged, yes.
Alleged, yes.
Never been caught.
No body, no crime.
Nobody, no crime. Nobody, no crime. It's legit. Yeah. I'm trying to see if Argus has told you guys his last name or not. I think he might have kept that to himself. Just because, like, he's going to tell you his first name. Maybe not the last one. He doesn't really know y'all like that, so.
Okay.
I'm also just gonna see if there's thieves' cant on this on this board.
Definitely, yeah. With thieves' cant, a number of symbols appear to you. You get a lot of what do I want to call them, like call signs for people as well. You get a lot of like thieves' cant, like so and so has been here sort of vibes. Tags, I guess, is perhaps the best word for it. Mm-hmm. But also, Argus, you would see probably what no one else would note, which are like a signboard, like directions. There's directions to, like, if you're looking to fence something, if you were looking to have, a quiet meeting, the storeroom is this way. If you're looking to get a drink, this way. If you're just anything that you can think of for criminality wise. And they're even like on the ceiling as you look up, there's these lines that to most people would just look like lines in either the dirt or the roots themselves, but the symbol on them is like, oh, if you follow this, it will get you here.
I think Argus, Clara's looking like as we're down here, so bushy-eyed, bright-tailed, just like, oh, we're getting down here. Oh, what's going through Clarence's mind?
Well, I was actually going to ask, would I recognize any of the names on these posters? Because I've been traveling the roads. So,
yeah.
Would I have encountered these people and had maybe an awkward conversation?
Or potentially, like, seen them on other billboards somewhere else, names that you would call back to.
Clarence, give me a history check to see how just well you've been paying attention to other signposts. I'm going to say probably because Clarence is still around, Clarence has not had a ton of interactions with a lot of criminals. A lot of criminals have turned to banditry and whatnot. And Clarence is still kicking. But, yeah.
That's a 15 for history.
15, okay. You would definitely recognize some names. You would definitely know the surname Ironclaw. That's one of those names. That's like, when I say like soprano, like they don't have a show made about him, but like we all associate that with a certain criminal family, not a real one. But you would definitely recognize that. You'd probably recognize a couple of names for just low-level bandits, a couple of thieves. I don't think any violent criminals have crossed paths with Clarence, but definitely I think also as a bard, you probably encountered some roguish bards from time to time, and you're like, oh, I played right before them. That's why they didn't have any money to pay me. That makes sense. Okay.
Got it. Okay. I think upon seeing, like, I'm envisioning it as more, it's like no longer a billboard or like a little bulletin board. It's more of like a wall now that's full of these
like the walls are
posters.
plastered with these posters. Like as you go in, it's like a museum of criminality, which intentional or not kind of has like you're putting them in a place of regard. And even as the perch guards stand there, it's like, well, look at these 2 perch guard and look at these dozens of criminals. Like it doesn't give the effect I think they're looking for.
Yeah. So Clarence is hopping from like one poster to another, like, oh, this thing again. Oh, yeah. I remember I saw them 3 towns over. They're really getting good. And then just kind of is like keep going and like complimenting like all of the criminals.
Wow, breaking and entering? Good for them.
Nice crime.
Not just breaking this time.
I think after like 2 or 3 of those, Marley walks over to Clarence and just kind of wraps their arm around her shoulder and is just like, let's maybe just take it down. notch or two.
Oh yeah. It was serious faces.
Yeah.
Tough criminal. And Clarence is gonna like rough up their scarf. Like, yeah.
I mean, depending on the criminal, they might actually love that you love their work. So,
well, if we run into any of them, we'll have to let them know.
Yeah, case by case basis. Argus is gonna look for a place where clients meet clientele most. If job needs getting done, he knows where to go to ask for the right person.
Okay. Likely there is a tavern. That makes sense. It's a place where people can meet and you don't ask questions about it typically. I'll say that there is a tavern that is kind of like, there's a number of them, of course, down here. There's one that Argus has at least known that, like, when the family says, hey, if you're ever going to be in the Alderheart, if you ever need anything, stop by here. That in particular would be the Fox and Crow. So traveling through, you see, again, a number of folks moving about. A lot of people have their hoods up. A lot of people are obscuring their faces, moving about, keeping to themselves, keeping quiet. There are passives, 13. Let's see, 16. Okay, 14. There's nobody necessarily who's like looking to pickpocket, from what you can tell. And for, let's see, who has the highest passive? I think for Marley, you spot somebody who's probably targeting Clarence, but then looks at Argus, and like the hand goes back into their cloak.
Yeah, they decide better. They make a better choice.
You all find your way to the Fox and Crow. It is, Marley, in comparison to the tavern you went to last night, much more populated, much more bustling. The thing that you all notice right away is most tables will have people at them, but no food or drink. And so, much to Argus's point, absolutely a meeting point. Give me a perception check, everyone, please.
Is this visual or is this audio?
It is visual.
Okay. Blah.
That's a 16 for Clarence.
Yep.
It's a dirty 20.
21 for Mochi.
Nice.
22 for Argus.
Nice. Okay. So Marley, Mochi, Argus, actually Marley, especially with your magical item, you're getting captions from everyone in here, and they're kind of just like, they pop up like around them, and you're getting little bits of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a lot of, times are tough, but if times didn't have to be so tough, if you weren't being so tough, you know what I mean? I don't think, Marley, you're necessarily picking up on what's being said by everyone. There's things like, I'm looking to get my feet wet this weekend. You know any ponds I can jump into?
No.
Yeah, grass needs cut this weekend. So, you know anybody who's good at cutting grass?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of thieves' cant that I think you're picking up. You're not necessarily sure exactly what they're saying. Mochi, what I think, especially because of what you're looking for, you would note that there are a number of injuries in this tavern. There are people who have bandaged arms, bandaged knuckles. There's also some people who are sleeping at the bar. There's maybe some people to help around here. Argus, what you would note is there is a familiar individual, somebody who probably stands out to a lot of folks, but stands out to you especially. To reference another homebrew race, this is an Uskog. This is a warthog-like individual who is taking up the back corner with no other people at this table, kind of sitting in the shadows, but like feet kicked up on the table. And you would absolutely recognize this individual whose name I had pulled up and it went away for some reason. But yes, this is somebody who you would recognize from being at the bandit fortresses during your time there.
I see them, but do they see me?
It doesn't seem like it at this point. But to your point, and we do have a GM complication.
Oh no.
As you are scanning, Clarence, you're looking around and your big bunny feet accidentally steps on someone else's foot.
Oh no.
No, not big bunny feet.
And they look to you, this Corvum looks to you as your bunny foot has stepped on their bird-like talon, and they go, "Ah! Watch where you're going."
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are sorry, aren't you?
Well,
Michael
maybe
also
I was,
donated a
but
complication.
nothing said
I should
that.
know.
Thanks, Michael.
We're gonna, I think, pay that one forward. 2 complications is tough to do. I don't know how I can make a complication more complicated. We'll see if I can try. So, Michael, appreciate the donation regardless. We might just save that one for a rainy day. The Corvum looks past you, Clarence, and like you see their beaked head just turn up, and they go, "Well, by the gods, Argus.
Oh shit.
Your family owes me money."
Oh.
And you see that they reach for a sword at their hip. I will need initiative from everyone present.
I guess is that 2? Is that 2 complications? Is immediate fight?
I'm not sure that's necessarily 2. I want to save my 2 for we'll save the second one.
Okay.
Let's get the music changed over here to some combat music.
I'm gonna use one of my re-rolls.
Volderol's going to be the last remaining party member who knows what the job is. Dirty 20 for Mochi.
Nice.
Way too
nice roll.
It was a very nice roll.
Where
My
that's
initiative's
10
if you can
for
type them in
Clarence.
Zoom chat,
Oh,
please. So
I
can
will do it.
Sure.
in there. Thank you.
Provided Zoom lets me.
Indeed.
Advantage on initiative.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you, weapon of warning.
Yeah.
I just accidentally rolled high, but I don't want Mochi to go early. She doesn't know what to do. She needs time to think.
Give him the 1-2, Mochi.
To be fair, I have a giant fucking mace with me, so
Can
you know.
100% see Clarence saying that, like bouncing back and be like, "Give it a good old 1-2, let's go."
Get him, Mochi, get him, Argus. I think that's probably Clarence's bardic.
I was gonna say that's how you give them inspiration. Give it the old 1-2, let's go.
Okay, so we have 10, 21. Okay, so Argus, you were going to go first. You have a seated Corvum who is drawing their blade, and you have 2 others at their table. You have a hedge, and you also have a Mapok. So technically, they're not fully prone, but I'd still give you advantage on the attack since they are lower than you at this point. If this is a martial attack, they are within range. You also could probably reach the other 2 as well. What would you like to do?
Can I take the seat he's sitting in and smash him over the head with it?
Yeah, you sure could. That's improvised weapon attack. So yeah, okay. Go ahead and roll for attack.
I just love the yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah, you could do that.
I was trying to think, like, it's not a grapple. You're just taking a seat from out from under somebody. I mean, it's not even a shove. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess so. You say I get advantage or no?
Yeah, that's advantage. Yeah. Because you were also technically knocking them prone as you're doing it.
Cool. So that's 25 to hit.
Oh yeah. The old swipe and strike.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a bonus action, the bonus action of the Scofflaw, to do max damage and shatter the chair over their head as it just.
By all means, believe improvised attacks are only a D4 anyway, but you can add your strength to it. So yes. 4 plus.
What was my strength? My strength is good old +4, so 8 damage total.
Okay. With 8 damage, you knock this bandit to the ground, smashing the chair over them to where they are prone, covered in splinters, and what is left of this chair. The other two, I will actually, that's pretty intimidating. Go ahead and give me an intimidation roll.
Natural 20 for 24.
Okay, yeah. The other two, I'm going to give disadvantage on everything that they do after this point. Is there anything else for your turn?
It's just he goes, your family owes me money.
Yeah, just complete overreaction. Just, yeah, that's, I mean, not really, but to everyone else, it's like, wow, what did he say? Okay.
Like, to intimidate them, it's just like, if you don't want that to happen to you. And he, like,
Mochi
looks over at every other chair. Looks at every other chair in this room. How many chairs are in this room, would you say?
Probably upwards of like 40, 50.
If you don't want that to happen to you, 40 more times, I would stay safe.
All right.
What's the reaction of the other people, like, outside of this table as they see this happening? Like, are folks getting up and leaving?
Another brawl?
You know, I told myself I would never be able to use the stat block, and yet here I am getting to use it twice in a very...
Is it the bar fight? The bar fight stat block? Oh my god.
So, so yes, to your point, other people are getting up. The way that a bar fight works is basically it is a pool. You can knock people out, certainly, but there is a pool of damage to hit. And yeah, it's kind of the bar will attack you from time to time with thrown bottles, improvised weapons, broken chairs, all that kind of stuff. So you have done a decent amount of damage. I'm actually going to count the intimidation as damage as well, because you are taking 2 people out of the fight. But Mochi, it is your turn. You have a large portion of this bar has decided to stand up and challenge your little group. What would you like to do?
Dear Ha, let's do some fucking good. And I cast Bless on my party.
Thank you.
Good. That's pretty
that
good.
is a D4 to everyone?
A D4 to every attack roll or saving throw.
All right.
And if you let me draw, because I already had my mace, as soon as someone glared at Clarence the wrong way, I'll also, other hand, unhook the shield and get my AC up to 18.
All right. You absolutely do that. Anything else for your turn?
No, I like Bliss. Bliss is good.
With that, Clarence, it is your turn.
It's me? Okay, I'm so ready for this. All right, so Clarence, seeing the chair, getting completely and utterly smashed, is just kind of like, yes! And then is gonna activate. So I said activate. That's not, I don't know that. Anyway, so as a bonus action, Clarence can do the bunny hop, where I can hop a number of feet, 5 times my proficiency bonus. So what Clarence wants to do is to use this jump to jump up and over, or like kind of like around, maybe around the back, I don't, depending on our spatial issues here, over Argus to get on top of a table that's like next but on the other side, to land there.
Love some bar fight music here. You absolutely do that. Yeah, Clarence, activate. And you jump over onto one of the tables. A band strikes up. What would you like to do now that you have the high ground?
I think it's kind of a shame that our friend Voldemort isn't here, but never fear, I got the next best thing. And Clarence is gonna start like playing a tune on their pan flute, and it's gonna be casting one of their tricks from the Bard College, which is going to be Conjure Woodland Spirit.
Okay.
It's a trick that she has picked up from Vodaball. So I get to conjure a forest guardian spirit in an unoccupied space. It is a size large.
Okay.
And it's going to be a spectral, very angry possum, because it is after our lovely Vodaball. So yes, nothing happens right now. It'll happen when they move out of the area or move into the adjacent area to this possum. But that's everything. And Clarence is just going to be playing a nice little side pan flute line to whatever the band is already playing.
Just a ethereal buff. Voldemort, like helping you out.
Yeah.
I should note real quick that we did just hit our first goal for the charity campaign for Fauna and Flora. So we are doing a giveaway for a $40 gift card to Hit Point Press, who are the makers of Humblewood. So you can enter that in chat. It is the bar brawl's turn. And as people have started to get up from their seats, draw weapons, you hear a whistle probably from outside the tavern. That is the call for the perch guard. It's probably going to be a couple of minutes before they arrive, especially since the two of them are probably not coming into a bar alone. So we have 2 attacks. Let's see. Clarence, somebody is going to throw a bottle at you since you have kind of taken the high ground here. That is a 14 to hit, which just hits. Okay. Clarence, you are going to take... what is that? So we are at 4d6 worth of damage. And I use a dice roller for anything over 1 die because I also don't have any desk room. Clarence, you're going to take 12 points of slashing damage as a bottle kind of like shatters at your feet and fragments up at you. Mochi, somebody seeing you with a mace and shield out is going to take a strike at you with a bar chair emulating Argus. That, I'm not sure it's going to hit. It's only a 10 to hit. So Mochi shatters
AC
against
18.
your shield. Yeah.
Yep.
Shatters
Raise the
against your shield. And splinters outwards. Actually, I'm sorry, they get 3 attacks. So we're also going to throw a bar stool at Argus. Argus, that's only a 9. That's not going to hit you. So whether it hits you or hits you and splinters against you with no damage, or whether it just misses you completely, there is chaos just throughout this bar. It's not just like people targeting you, it's people who have had beef with other people across the bar.
Yep.
This is perfect opportunity.
Now's the time.
Now's the time. Yeah.
I'll say, like,
great.
as the chair splinters on Mochi's shield, she'll look at Clarence and go, "You gotta defend! That's the 2 and the 1 too!"
With that, Marley, it is your turn.
Oh my gosh. So these other 2 folks who are here at the table, are either of them like working on getting up, entering the fray? Are they attempting to draw weapons or anything like that?
I think that they are part of the bar fight. They are part of the pool as well. But, well, no, I guess I would consider them. They probably ran when they saw Argus, because I did take their equivalent out of the pool. So you have basically unconscious. There was 1 hit point left with the Corvum bandit stat block, so we can call them unconscious on the ground, but the rest of the bar has erupted, and that is what you are dealing with now.
Got it. Okay. Oh man. I had an idea, and now I don't think it's gonna work. So I don't know. I guess I attack the bar fight. Like I don't know. I just pick some random person and go for it, I guess.
Yeah. If you say it's there, it's there. That's the way this is working. Because there's people who are coming out after you. Now, there were friends of people who were at this table. They're also engaged. So
yeah, I think
there's a particularly violent otter who's coming at you.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Sometimes you just gotta join a good fight.
Sometimes you just gotta go for it. Yeah. That is not gonna do it for anything though. That was sorry. I haven't done the fighter thing before here, so
You're good.
Where the hell are my numbers? Anyway, I rolled a 5. It's not gonna hit anything, so it doesn't. I'm not super pressed.
Oh, do we still have those rerolls?
You can use an advantage, and you
I
also
have
have bless,
rerolls.
so you could add bless.
Yeah, we got rerolls and bless.
Yeah,
You have
I
a
really
D4?
do not want to use anything on this. This is not the fight to be using those things on, in my opinion.
Well, you can use bless regardless.
Sure. I don't think it's gonna help me hit anything. I
We
don't
rolled a
think
5. What's your plus for damage?
5.
It hits.
5.
Not for damage, right?
5 plus your.
Yeah,
modifier.
honestly, it doesn't even look like I've written it down here anywhere, so that's like my bad.
What's your strength modifier?
5.
Okay, so you rolled a 5 plus 5?
Yeah.
Okay. If
Plus
you
a
roll a
D4.
2, you're going to hit.
Okay, so it's a 13 with bless, I guess.
Then you hit.
Okay.
Hath be praised.
Indeed. I'm not gonna do a lot, but we'll see. It's a 8 damage.
8 damage. All right. Okay. That's the wrong thing. Anything else for your turn, Harley?
No.
Okay. With that, not to leave Volderol out of an entire fight, we are going to take since we have done one round and you have done pretty significant damage to this bar brawl, we're going to take a break real quick and check in on Volderol now. A little bit of whiplash. Nevertheless, Volderol, you have been pulled aside. Oh, that music is whiplash, damn. You have been pulled aside by Alice Quillock into the Sibyl's chambers. And she takes your very weathered hands into hers and just places, a paw on top of yours. You seem to be troubled. What is it that you've come back to the tenders for? Are you looking to re-enlist?
No, absolutely. No.
Well, one can hope.
Yeah, keep hoping. Listen. It's come to my attention that there might be something more to this winter than meets the eye. Something
I agree.
amiss. I was hoping maybe you could spare some information if you have anything. I wouldn't be out here if I didn't have to, but it's been 5 years now and things are looking rough. I saw the youngsters out there. We can hopefully put an end to all of that.
Volderol, you're old enough that unless your mind's completely gone, you remember the Calamity.
Of course.
You would. The Calamity was 8 or so years ago at this point. The Calamity was the Great Fire that came from the Scorched Grove that nearly took the Humblewood. It is what the main story of Humblewood is about. Our story takes place in the future after that. A lot of folk don't know how that story actually ended. They knew that some adventurers fought off the fire and took it out, whatever. But they don't know how those adventurers did that. And we kept that pretty secret here within the tenders. Because if anyone knew how they did it, if anyone knew what item they used, that item could be used for ill. And Volderol, my old friend, I fear that is, in fact, what happened.
Not as much.
To fight fire, we used ice. We used a bit of ancient magic as old as Humblewood itself. A fragment of an even greater piece of magic, but it was enough to send the fire spirit back to whence it came, and after that happened, we thought it was safe locked away in the avian. I no longer think that that is the case.
What is this artifact? Exactly.
The greater artifact is the Chalice of Aldous. As I understand it, one of the other Tender leads, the other Tender chiefs, knows its true location, but refuses to tell anyone, locked away somewhere in the mountains. And yet a fragment of it was broken off. And that piece was used to end the Calamity's great destruction. And I fear that if those pieces were ever united, that we would receive an end this winter. And so
who stands to gain from this? I mean, it's tough all over.
It's tough for many. What I worry is that in dire times, dark forces can take hold. They can take power. That when you lower a population, when you demoralize a population, it is easier to put that population in chains. And that is my fear, is that is what is happening, that the Humblewood is being broken so that some group of ones can take charge, can save us in the end when they deem it. And we'd never be able to break from their grip again.
Vordor squeezes her paws in his. Says, I'm not going to let that happen. And my friends aren't going to let that happen. I'll bet right now they're getting all the information they need to make sure this all goes as smoothly as possible. Guarantee you, those kids they're all right. There's absolutely no way anything could be going wrong whatsoever. That said, I would rather see to it that if we can do anything, then we'll see that everyone benefits, not just these mysterious puppet masters. If there's anything you can tell me, you know you can trust me. This is... You know I wouldn't be here if it was important.
The item is called the Borealis. It was kept in the vaults of the Avium, where they keep all of their most dangerous magic. As we understood it, it was near impossible for anyone to break in. And according to Umber Smokekeeper, no one has. And yet, as you look around, I am not sure what else could have happened.
See. Seems like maybe the road leads to Smokekeeper next. But the Borealis, that's good. The name, we can work with that. Thank you.
Also, Volderall, don't forget about our sibling branches. The Crystal Expanse is always a good group to reach out to in these times. It was their duty to prevent this never happened, and I don't think that it's any secret why we haven't heard from them all this winter. I think the Avium should be a stop, but I can see your travels taking you to the mountains. Should you be willing, I would not ask you to do anything that you are not willing to do.
Well, anybody else was asking me, I'd probably tell them to stuff it, but you never could say no to that face. Of course. I'm here anyway, right? The mountains. Got it. Is there any way I can contact you from outside?
You can always send messages. They, more often than not, get to me. You can always use sending to contact me as well. And you can always just try to contact me through the greenery. It's a druidic sort of deal, if you still remember.
I haven't been accepting calls for a while. I admit it slipped my mind. But
I will try to send messages in druidic to you as I am available to do so.
Yeah. Likewise, maybe. We'll see. I get busy.
Of course.
Anyway, I better go and check on what they found out down the roots. Down the
Oh,
roots.
I hear it's rough down there.
That'll be fine.
Just keep some eyes in the back of your head, even if those eyes happen to be growing on mushrooms.
That's the best way.
It's also the most unsettling thing I've ever said out loud.
You probably done it before. He goes to leave, but he looks back. He says, "If anyone was going to make Sybil, I'm glad it's you, Alice."
It wasn't going to me. It was going to be you.
No. That's a long time ago. Next time I come back, got those fun ones, and he still like lifts his sleeves to show that he's got the mask still. You at least owe me that and a drink.
Of course. And before you go, she pats you just kind of, on the breast pocket. And as you leave, you see that she has used just a little bit of druid craft to help some mushrooms grow there. Some of the fun ones.
All right. Yeah, Baldwell makes his way out. He's going to head down to meet the others who are probably bored by now. It's probably not been doing much.
Let's let's go ahead and check in on them. It's been it's been some time. Let's see how things are going down in the roots. All right, back to top of the order. Argus, it is your turn. Volderol, I'm going to say it's going to be a couple of rounds until you are able to get there. But should we go a couple of rounds, Volderol will be rolled in as well. But until that time, Argus, you have the bar brawl around you. How would you like to act? I can't hear you for some reason.
I think you're muted.
My mic is muted as well. I think just to clear a pathway to the person he knows is the best course of action for him. So he's just gonna be nonchalantly walking with the chaos, just letting it carry him, but also fighting it as it's trying to fight him. And such. So I will do attacks while I'm going through the.
Okay, it's like a dance of sorts. Yeah. Go ahead and it's an AC of 12.
Back to the good old days, this whole thing. So that's 24 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And that is let's roll some damage. I'm using my maul. So 12 damage on the first attack.
Okay.
And I will accent surge because fuck it, why not? And we will attack again. That is 14 to hit.
Yeah.
And that is 13 more damage.
Okay. All right.
So it's so going with the crowd. It always ends with that crowd blasting off with a swing of the arm.
Slamming the hammer into him. Absolutely. Yeah. Jesus. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Just making their way towards is the person that I know just staying there still? They have not interacted?
I think especially as you were cutting away through the crowd, eyes have locked on you because you stand also a couple of heads above a lot of people here. Mm-hmm. But they have not engaged, hands behind their head, feet up on the table, and there's a little smile just watching you do your thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, next up we have Mochi.
Question.
Yeah.
How much blood is coming out of Clarence right now? Because I know how many hit points I have, and 12 would be bad.
Yeah, it's not the best. It's yeah.
Not the best. Perfect. Love it. God, that sounds not right. Oh, you're so small. You don't have any proper magic. You only have stupid magic.
I got into magic school, excuse you.
Oh, if that's your attitude, then I will not be curing your wounds and I'll simply slam someone in the face with a mace. Perfect. I would like to attack the bar fight. Not if that's how you're gonna talk to me.
Petty cleric.
I'm going to attack the bar fight.
I'm sorry. Have you ever played a game with a healer? We're all petty. That's just how it is.
We don't want to be the healer.
Go for it.
Can I tell who Argus has locked eyes with?
I'm gonna say, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Still a 12.
Okay. I think you're a little too short at this point, because you're kind of like average height for everybody. Like Argus is like above the crowd is how he's able to see. You're in the middle of it. You're literally in the thick of a swarm. So you can see Clarence, you can see Argus, but you can't see like across the horizon of combatants.
Mm-hmm. Super annoying.
Well, to be fair, you can also see the people that Argus is flinging across the room every time he swings the maul. So
that's just awesome.
They do the goofy like
the Wilhelm scream in the distance.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, I just feel like a bar fight isn't technically a good time to start like throwing fire at people. Like I think I have enough wisdom to not start doing that at least.
In the root system of a tree during winter. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm not an idiot. I just didn't get into wizarding school. But apparently Clarence doesn't want my healing because I was gonna cure wounds. So we're just gonna find someone whose face I don't like. You mentioned an aggressive otter. Let's find the aggressive otter and hit it in the head with a mace.
You may do so.
Thank you. I will use one of my rerolls, and I don't care what other people think about using rerolls in a bar fight. I'm gonna do it anyway. You're not my real mom. That's better. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, dirty 20 absolutely hits. I should have also said to Liz before, you also had inspiration. So if for this session alone, so you also want to make sure you use that.
Okay, I forgot about that. Thank you.
The previous roll was a 3, so even inspiration wasn't gonna save my ass.
Okay.
Also, technically, I blessed myself as well, so this is a 24.
Okay, so 20. Yeah. So I'm sorry, what was the damage? The damage was 3?
The damage is 7. Because I rolled a 6 on a d6 and I have a +1.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I would say at this point the bar fight has dwindled. It is at the halfway point for hit points. So that also means a depletion of people and a depletion in what it can do. Mochi, anything else for your turn?
She said do good. Can I get at least near Clarence? If she goes down, I'll get her up.
Okay. Fair enough. So using movement to get next to Clarence. And Clarence, it is your turn.
Okay, quick technical question because I always forget. Healing word, can that be on myself?
Yeah.
Okay, because it says a creature of your. And I was like, can I see myself? Like, is this a meta? Anyway.
Just put your hand up in front of your face. It counts.
Yeah, me. Okay.
Yeah, no, paladins can always touch themselves. They. It's terrible to say it. Yeah, you can always heal yourself.
Casual. Okay. I am going to. Clarence is gonna standing on top of this table. It's gonna take a moment and blow a raspberry at Mochi as Mochi's walking over, and then just kind of like pointedly, like hand themselves as they cast healing word.
Like high five yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Perfect.
Good job touching yourself in public.
It's I can do what I want. You're not my real mom. I'm gonna heal myself for 5.
That's obviously the tagline for this episode. Now that we've heard it like 6 times.
You're not my real mom.
Yeah.
And then is looking out across the bar from my superior higher ground. Is there like a 10-foot area that is not occupied by one of my peoples?
I think it's reasonable to say that yes, there would be.
Okay, because at that point, Clarence is gonna play a very high note, and while it's uncomfortable for some people, it is excruciating for these people in that 10-foot area.
Okay.
as Clarence is using that high note to cast Shatter.
Okay. Okay. What's the saving throw on that?
So that's a Constitution saving throw, and it's a DC 12.
Okay. They do not succeed.
Okay.
The bar fight fails its Constitution saving throw.
Everyone's all drunk, right? So
Yes.
That's right.
Like-
That's right.
Yeah, honestly, they have a bonus action for their next turn called Liquid Courage, which is just where they get more drunk and they gain 5 hit points from their audacity. So,
Plus 1, 2. I'm doing math on my fingers. Well, that would be a total of 20 thunder damage. And then, of course, it shatters any stone, crystal, or metal. Well, they would have disadvantage, but it's okay. It's all good. And then, yeah.
okay. Shattering tables, chairs as well, blasting these individuals back with this high note. Fantastic. Anything else for your turn?
No, that's everything.
Okay. With that, it is the bar fight's turn. They are going to regain 5 hit points. And they are going to take their attacks. They only get, well, no, they still get the 3 attacks, but the damage is lessened because they are at far below half where they were. So, Clarence, that is a 17 to hit as one of the still standing bar chairs comes after you. Let's see, Argus, because you are wading your way through, that is a 16 to hit. That's going to hit. Okay. And then for Marley, I actually rolled a nat 20 on that one.
Shut the front door. God.
So
damn
for Clarence, you are going to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage. For Argus, you are going to take 6. And for Marley, you're going to take 16.
Clarence faints dramatically on top of the table.
Faints?
Yeah, Clarence is down.
Shut up. All right. Okay. All right.
But
and
you're
Marley,
such
it
a
is your
good
turn.
healer, Clarence. You're so magical, Clarence.
Also, my giant possum disappears.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
weird energy. You guys were like the best of friends like last week, and now it's like nothing.
I know, right?
Marley, it is your turn.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Did I? I didn't. I really did think about purchasing some healing potions, and I surely did not because I was so broke that I didn't. But in this case, I think Marley's gonna step up on the table where Clarence is, or kind of climb up on it, and stand over their body to defend them.
Okay.
So basically, if anybody gets close enough, she's gonna like kick somebody in the teeth or hit them with her sword or something.
Okay. So are you preparing an action, or did you want to attack kind of who's around anyway?
Yeah, if there is somebody who's close enough and looks like they're
yes.
getting a little dicey, she's gonna probably swipe down with her sword. So.
Go for it. Yeah,
Right.
this is a swarm. It's hard to give them like an actual area because they're just everywhere.
I'm gonna go ahead and use
Everywhere
my...
you want to be. I'm both sad I didn't prepare a battle map for this. I had in my thought, I was like, you know, I feel like Argus should be in a bar brawl more than the like all the rest of you. I'm glad that happened, but at the same time, I have no idea how I would just make a giant sphere that's just like, this is bad, guys. Smack away.
That's fair. I'm gonna use my inspiration on this one to get advantage on the attack. That's good. Oh my god, numbers are hard. 23 to hit.
23 will hit, yeah.
Right. I really should just keep my d6s out. That would be best. And that is 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay.
8 damage.
Looking pretty rough. And anything else for your turn?
You know what? Why not? I'm gonna action surge and do it again.
Go for it.
Yep. That is 22 to hit.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh. And 12 damage that time.
7 hit points left. Marley, how do you end this bar brawl?
Well, I think I think it's probably the aggressive otter that we've been really close with, and I think I think this last one, she holds her sword down, like doesn't like go to actually like kill him or dispatch the character, but puts the end of her short sword like right here into their shoulder and just pushes the tip of it in, and just like I'm fucking daring you right now. Do something. I'm daring you to do it.
With that, Edgar the aggressive otter drops his dagger and, like, with little paws up, reaches into the secret pocket and pulls out a little bit of gold and kind of like throws it at your feet. Just goes running in the other direction.
Yeah, you better run.
I mean, the gold can help pay for damages.
At this point, you all are out of initiative. Who would like to stabilize Clarence?
I mean, I can do a medicine check, but it's not going to be all that great.
Healing word.
All right.
I was going to
Go
say,
ahead
that point, Voldo will come downstairs and be like,
beautiful.
oh my god.
I rolled a 1, so you get 5 hit points.
The irony.
Enjoy.
Ready to go.
The irony.
Volderol, yes, you walk into this tavern and look at the devastation.
I'm picking up this half-broken Clarence.
Like, Volderol's been absolutely just like ambling down casually. He's like, they're probably just like, asking questions, boring stuff, whatever. I'm sure he'll be fine. And he just comes in to see this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm ragdolling Clarence. Now who got into wizarding school?
I'm gonna heal.
I mean, bless you.
Thank you, Mochi. That was epic.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Volderol, it literally looks like Clarence exploded because like the blast radius from Shatter makes it look like Clarence was a bomb that went off.
Great. Great. That's not
probably
worrying
scary.
at all.
Yeah.
Even his gunpowder.
It's fine.
For real though, Clarence, how bad do you still look?
I'm giving them here we go. That's 9 health.
Okay.
Clarence is great. Clarence
Are
is
you full?
great.
Are you good? Are you golden?
Not full, but I'm looking great.
Not full. Nope, not full.
Looking good.
Yeah. Comes in, heals Clarence, goes, what the hell happened here?
Well, somebody tried to insult our party and then was trying to demand money, and obviously we couldn't let that stand because Argus is one of us.
Also,
Somebody
Clarence
tried to
stepped on a
look up
bird's foot.
Argus.
I also might have stepped on somebody's foot.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to rob Argus, and then you stepped in the foot.
No, other way around.
Exactly.
I think.
Well,
Maybe it was very confusing.
it was
a
the
lot
other
of
way
things
around.
happened.
Yeah.
And then
I
it
stepped
was
on
so
their
cool.
foot.
Argus was like throwing people like across the bar, and then Marley stabbed an otter, and then Clarence like exploded and died.
This is a lot like when two kids are trying to tell you a cool story, and you're just like, okay,
Yeah, it's exactly
And
like
then-
that.
and then-
okay.
And then
and then
So
Have
as
you ever?
this,
Would you ever? If you
All right, we'll all get ice cream afterwards.
so
Yay!
as
No, wait, I
this-
want ice cream. It's 5 years of winter.
as this conversation is happening,
Yes.
Marley pops down off the table and pulls out a rag and wipes down her sword. What is Argus doing? Like, is he still just headed toward this dude who's chilling at the table in the back?
Like he before he gets to them, because he did get injured, he just like rips one of the capes off one of the downed people and just uses it as a rag and then tosses it and then sits down.
horrifying. I think at about this point, you have approached the Uskog. It is also about this same moment that the perch guard finally arrive. And
great.
Shit, I forgot about them.
So Conrad, which is the Uskog's name, looks to you, Argus. What a sight for sore eyes.
Enjoy the show.
You are always impressive, old friend. And he turns past you to where the perch guard are starting to like shuffle in, and he looks at them and goes, "Get out!" And they look over and just, yes, Conrad. Didn't know you were here. Very sorry. And they shuffle back out and like close the door to the tavern. There's like little windows in like the dirt and roots and everything, and you see them just kind of like peeking through.
Wow.
Just whispering to themselves.
I think Marley sheathes her sword and nods to Conrad. She's just like, we could do with having friends like you around.
Well, friends like me cost. Anyway, what can I do for all of you?
I'm looking for somebody. Obviously.
Oh, everybody's looking for somebody, Articus. You have to be more specific than that.
I'm looking for Killer Queen.
Haven't seen her in a little while, but she was here a few months ago. Why are you looking for her?
Something was stolen. In a place that should be impossible to steal from. And if anything, we both know that they can get anywhere and anything. They put their mind to it.
You are not wrong about that. Last I heard, she had taken up some road bandits on the way towards the avium. Chances are, if you head that way, you'll likely bump into her, perhaps not under the best circumstances, but as far as I'm aware, she doesn't kill that many of her friends.
It's surprising to hear that they were traveling with bandits, considering.
Times is tough.
Sure.
You head towards Timber Split. I hear she's somewhere along the way. What's,
well, if you see her before I do, just tell her that the youth of Aya is looking for her.
I will do that.
I interrupted you before. What were you going to say?
No. You're all good. He just looks to the rest of your companions. It's nice to see you not traveling alone anymore.
Traveling alone got boring.
They seem somewhat capable.
As you can see.
Yeah.
Traveling with the group always tends to do this.
What is this item you're looking for that you're so worried was stolen?
From the avium, right? Avium?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, avium, yeah.
From the avium.
Interesting.
Don't know the name, but I know it was something that could never be stolen, but was stolen, obviously.
I did hear about some sort of heist that was being rumored about, but I didn't believe it was true. You know what they say about people bragging about this or that. It's always half of what they're actually saying. But
hence why
sometimes.
I'm looking for Queen.
As far as I'm aware, the information I have is up to date. Head towards Timber Split. Hopefully she'll be along the way.
Game Master, is this their establishment?
I don't think that he owns it. I think this is like how like Italian mafia families will have like a restaurant that they go to all the time. It's like, oh, they get the special table, the special treatment. Like they probably pay protection money to Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think he's footing the bill for the damage.
Yeah, I think just at this like that, it's like I think there should be enough patrons here to go through their pockets and pay for the repairs of this place, and a little extra for you as well.
We'll be all right. But I appreciate.
How is everyone?
Some are better than most. as it always has. A few haven't made it through. A few are doing very well. But most are hurting. Hopefully someday this winter will end. We get things back to normal.
Considering what I'm looking for, what we're looking for, that day might come sooner than later.
Oh, playing hero, are we?
No, I don't know. Trying to do something. Sick of this shit.
Doing something is better than doing nothing, in my opinion. Regardless, best of luck.
Thanks. And just slaps the table, stands up. All right, so want to get out of here? Or any other people want to try for trouble? I don't really want to stand out any more than I have.
That's reasonable. I guess we can leave. And Clarence will turn.
Did you get? I saw you got a couple of good hits in.
I did. Yeah. Do you think it makes me a criminal yet?
Given the establishment, not quite.
Oh. Okay.
It's just another day. Yeah.
This is an occurrence. I wouldn't be surprised if this place was better by the evening and then right back in the morning.
Oh. Okay. But this is really exciting.
Looking to become a wanted. Is that the dream?
Well, if I learned anything about trusting magic people that were supposed to be good at doing magic stuff and then really kind of we're all uppity about it and then we're being really weird about it. If I learned anything, it's sometimes people who do the right thing are doing the wrong thing to other people.
That is,
yeah.
Man, that makes sense.
Surprisingly astute, Clarence.
Yeah. So sometimes to be a hero, sometimes you have to get your hands dirty.
Yes, you do.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Speaking of getting dirty, we should probably not stand this pile of bodies, right?
Well, apparently the Perch Guard doesn't care that much.
I don't
For
think they have
Clarence's
much
worry
choice
about
this matter.
Well, they care. It's just they can't care more than they should.
For Clarence's worry about stepping on somebody's foot now is like standing on somebody's head. Okay. Well, I had something for Anniek who just popped back. See, that's all I gotta say is somebody's name. Okay.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. You're all good, Anniek. You're all good.
App is.
No, you're totally fine. Technical issues are out of our control. I understand it is frustrating. It is never something I want any of you to feel bad about. We have literally all been there. Anniek, the last thing as you all go to leave the Fox and Crow and go to the next step of whatever your adventure is, I wanted to say that Mochi gets a little voice that sounds similar to Mochi but different.
Mm-hmm.
And only to Mochi she can hear, "That was very fun. You should do that again more often."
Does that sound other than sounding like me? Does it also sound like another voice I heard earlier in my life?
Oh yeah. This is you could piece together.
It's Hath. Yeah.
You have a trickery god. You got into a bar fight.
I know. I am.
That's like saying a Hail Mary.
I am relieved. Yeah. Like that. Apparently, let's do some good, and then casting bless and hitting people with maces. Like mental note. Excellent.
And you healed a friend. Let's not forget that very crucial part.
And I healed a friend.
That is where we're going to wrap up.
Frenemy? Question mark.
Friend. that is where we're going to wrap up this session of Humblewood, the Unwelcome Winter. This is session 2 of 12. Check us out next week for even more. I'm going to have these lovely folks say a little bit about themselves, where you can find more of them, and where you can support them. And I highly encourage you to do so. I'll say a little bit about myself, some channel news, and I will let you all go for the day. So, Christian, if you don't mind starting us out, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Hey, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba, on several socials, mainly on TikTok and Twitch, where you can find me playing several games with several people on several wonderful days. You can also find me on places like Roll for Dylan. That's ROLL4DYLEN for Vampire the Masquerades, Darkness Over New Orleans, and of course later today, Sunday, you can find me on Total Party Kisses, Tragedy of Theologian, Greek Myth Inspired 5e campaign. My pronouns are PM. I've been playing your mercenary, Argus, Ironclaw, or just Argus. Depends on who
Or
asks.
just Argus. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. Please go check out Christian. You said you have a game later today?
Yes, I do.
Go check out Christian in that game. Fantastic player. Anniek.
Hi, my name is Anniek. I hate everything about Zoom. I played Mochi, the trickery cleric, who is a solid 8 years old and definitely an adult today. I will be here on Sundays for Humblewood. And I'll let Derek do like the majority of the channel news that involves me, because he has a script and dates and stuff, but I will be in Drama Llamas. And I will be running some people who wrote some very scary books through Call of Cthulhu sessions on the 21st and the 28th. We'll be doing some investigation and some horror, and it's going to be tons of fun. And then after Humblewood, there will be more horror, more to follow. If you want to be like interested in like casting calls and stuff, maybe join the Discord.
Definitely. Thank you, Anniek. Next up, Liz.
Oh heck, that's me. I am Liz. I do TTRPG streams occasionally. This is my only one currently, and so you'll find me here every single Sunday from now until Christmas Eve, and I'm very excited about it, unless something terrible happens to my character. Anyway, there's a link in there, and I do TTRPG design and miniature model painting and all sorts of other things, so you can find all of my socials in the chat.
Thank you, Liz. Next up, Pan.
Hi, I'm Pan. He, they. I've been playing Voldemort, he, him. You can find me on Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok as well, actually, YouTube, all under Stellar Encore. And you can hear me in Horde of Tales shows. I think I'm on one next week, actually. So check us out there. They're also on Twitter as well. Check out my bio. As well as that, you can catch me on Mercy Power Podcast, Cosmopunk, Cybertopia, and a few other things I don't know if I'm going to talk about yet, but they're on the horizon. So check me out on socials at Stellar Encore. Oh, and you know what? Come check me out streaming next weekend. Sorry, I'll be doing some games.
Awesome. Thank you, Pan. And yes, if you have to go, please.
I do. Yeah, this has been
lovely.
You're
all good.
But thank you very much, guys, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Cheers for the game, everybody.
It is important to let people be people. Last but absolutely not least, Shadow.
Hi everybody, I'm Shadow. I'm she, her pronouns. I've been playing Clarence, they, she pronouns, who's been your bard, college of the road, does a lot of things, is small and fluffy, and will get dropped in a fight. You can find me here on Twitch. I stream cozy games unless I'm playing Assassin's Creed Revelations. And otherwise, I'm in other TTRPG spaces, particularly tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be over on Roll D5. We specialize in playing indie TTRPGs. We'll be playing Triangle Agency, which is kind of a recurring theme on our channel. Very excited to play through that. It sounds like if you like a little bit of SCP Foundation type stuff, it might be for you. So come check us out. Otherwise, yeah, I'll be here for several more Sundays.
Several more Sundays, indeed. Yeah, to be transparent, Shadow as a move, and yeah, we'll see if we can fit Clarence in. We'll give Clarence a a good send-off or a bad send-off. We don't know yet. I am Derek Sword. I've been your GM for this game. Thank you all for joining us once again. I use he, him pronouns, I should say. Thank you again to Michael for doing the artwork for this game. You can check out even more of it on our Discord and more of the wonderful group here very soon. We should get some colored artwork here very soon. I should say that most of the stuff that I do is on Sword and Key, so most of my plugs will be tied into that. But if you do want to see what I do personally, most of my socials are at dsword16, and I'm on Blue Sky and Twitter primarily. But again, most of the stuff I do is at Sword and Key. So you can find all of Sword and Key's links at beacons.ai/Sword and Key, all one word. On most socials, the words are separated with underscores on either side of AM, so sword underscore and underscore key. And we have a bunch of stuff. I actually am the co-host of a podcast called Monster Crush, which is all about smooching monsters, appreciating cryptids for those cute butts. And that is hopefully coming out later today. I recorded a last-minute episode because we did have, unfortunately, a bit of bittersweet news. My typical co-host, Kevin Lee, who actually started the podcast, has had to step back. She got a promotion at work, and she works in the food industry, which is just the restaurant industry, which is just ungodly hours. So she stepped back to move forward in career, and I fully support her in doing so. And the very lovely Lady Dame has joined me as a new co-host. So we have an episode, if I can get it edited in time, that will be coming out later today. It is a very special October month, so we did the most well-known vampire cryptid I could think of. We were doing an episode on El Chupacabra. So you can check that out wherever podcasts are found. And that is a Sword and Key podcast. You can also find all the links to that through our beacons as well. I should note Beacons also has the Tiltify links for this game, the Tiltify links for all of our October charities, which are also in support of Patty Aware International, which works to protect the world's oceans. So you can find both of those, and you can find any Pally links, like those for Horizons Call there as well. For upcoming stuff, because like I said, it is October, we have a bunch of stuff for Sword and Spooky. We have, what is today, the 15th. So like I said, hopefully Monster Crush coming out later today. On the 20th, we have a 10 a.m. Pacific time game of Drama Llamas being run by the lovely Eva. That is going to be very fun. We have watch parties every Friday for the rest of the month where we're watching scary movies on Discord. You can join the Discord through the beacons or in chat. There should be a link there as well. And it's Discord only watch party. So we're actually doing Cabin in the Woods this week on the 20th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, maybe 5 p.m. if I can get off work earlier. And then the 27th will be the last one for October. We're doing the Kristen Stewart movie Underwater, which I think is a fantastic new horror movie. On the 21st, we have the first episode of Pulp Cthulhu at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That is being run by Anniek and has some actually fantastic writers as part of the cast for that. I clicked away from it. There we go. We have Jameson Shea, CM Rosens, and Morgan Dante joining us for that game as players. So that is going to be just an absolutely fantastic time. Definitely check that out. And that will be the first session of that is the 21st. The second session is the 28th, both at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday. After those games will be Horizons Call at 3 p.m. Pacific time, which is the nautical 5e campaign that I run here on this channel. On the 22nd, Humblewood is back for session 3, and after that, I am running a Night of Fright, which is Scooby-Doo D&D, with a very lovely cast as well. So you can check out that one shot and continue support of the October charity. The last full one-shot, standalone one-shot for Sword and Spooky is going to be on the 26th. That is a Thursday. That is 4 p.m. Pacific time, and it is a game of Sunken, which is nautical horror where death is the best ending for your character. That is being run by Mare. We have more stuff coming out. We're probably going to announce another game here towards the end of November. We'll probably have some more casting calls out probably in the new year. As stuff starts to get busier and busier as the holidays ramp up. But Horizons Call will be every Saturday. Again, Humblewood will be every Sunday, going right up until Christmas Eve. Again, we might adjust that too, because I let people be people, and if schedules and stuff, like I said, it gets tough. But keep posted. You can always check out our socials. We have Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and you can always again join our Discord for any updates there as well. That is it, I believe, for Humblewood for this week. I should also say we are casting for Moon Sailors right now, which is a no GM game, I think with very simple rules that Mara's organizing. So definitely check out the Castigal for that. You can see it in chat. You can also find it on all of our socials as well. And we are also rating... Discord's being slow for me. We are rating Dork Tales. So you can definitely check them out. Spread some positivity over there. And yeah, I just wanted to... You all basically created a sign-off for me in Humblewood chat. What was it? No bodies, no crime, no drama. Have a nice week, everybody. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.